Hello, sir.
Good day, good evening, and good morning from the West Coast.
Is it sunny in your place?
No,
Oh, you're reassuring me. Because here it's the end of the world is today. It's been great in London for the past 2 weeks, like almost summer-like. And suddenly today, I think there was 3 storms in a row. It's thundery outside. So guys, you must actually hear some thunder during the recording of this show because it's been really, really strong. So, and yeah, they're forecasting in an hour. So maybe you'll hear something, I don't know. So,
yeah, it's funny. Same thing happened with us. We had a snap of summer, and it just, I don't know. It was a tease.
It always happens. Then again, the weather always plays this with us. However, we're going to Dubai today for the show. Not us, actually. we can say we're going to the sun or something. At least, well, you know what?
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Good luck to us, and good luck for those who took that flight KLM 592.
Mm-hmm.
The hentai virus super spreader. Yeah. No, look, I don't know if it's a matter of a joke. I wish you all who were in the flight good health, but I just don't want to see another 2020, guys. Please, no. So we're not going to talk about this.
We're good. We're good. We've had enough for our lifetime.
Let's keep our hands in the sand and not think about that. And good luck to you. Because did you not make a mistake in the last episode about the name of your friend?
I did.
Go on.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about my friend Mark, the Qantas frequent flyer, who was very well taken care of on his Emirates series of flights going to and from the Olympics. So I just want to shout out the correction. Mark Mitchell. Not Mark Wallace. Mark Mitchell is the correct name. So hopefully, Mark, if you're listening, we have you now. So yes, continue.
Maybe he was so disappointed that he stopped listening altogether.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not going to talk about it now, but we are on Apple Podcast Video. I'll talk about it later. So, Mark, if you're watching, you can actually see him and berate him via the screen of your phone. Anyway, let's play the music to start this with. So I said Dubai. So we're not in Dubai, guys. I'm in London. You know, it is in Vancouver, obviously. But this is where I'm going. Where we're going today. I'm going to take Vinod on a journey, how I got there. That was just literally before the war. I had, of course, no idea this would be coming. But the way I got there, that's the interesting bit. At first, I'm going to backtrack for month ahead. So we were talking end of 2025, so probably around September. And I was thinking, how would I go to Dubai? Totally unrelated to me. If you had to go to Dubai, what would you take? What would be your favorite? And maybe then something, maybe if your favorite is way too expensive, what would you end up with, do you think?
Out of Vancouver, you mean?
Yeah, well, of course, yeah.
Yeah. I would try and get onto an Emirates flight, possibly out of Seattle or LA, and then go across. If that was out of reach, this makes it interesting. I would maybe even look at Qatar.
Yeah, that's what I did actually last year and a few other years as well. I've done most of it with Emirates, as people are bored about me talking about Emirates because this is the airline I flew the most with in the 2010s before COVID. So obviously I did that a lot, but they are very expensive on direct from London. We're going to talk pre-war, right? So they were very, very expensive. They still are, but we'll talk about this a bit later, perhaps. So I was thinking, what do I want to try? Not that, of course, Emirates would be really great, too expensive. Qatar would be really nice because who would refuse a Q suite? Neither you nor I. But they were too expensive. Too expensive is all relative, but they were really more expensive. I keep track of the prices every year. I know how much, it's not even a spreadsheet, but I know how much I paid because I've been to Dubai countless times from London. So I'm like, this is, above what I'm usually paying. Plus I have a budget. And then again, right, I cannot just go like a baller. And then I heard, and I don't know if you had heard about them. I had heard about ITA, the new Alitalia, which is now part of Lufthansa Group. Where they're at that point in time where I was booking, they were not part of Lufthansa Group. And there was this thing where they were running the 321 from Rome Fiumicino to Dubai with a business class that looks like a first class. It's said on the reviews I've read online that it is one of the best business class you can fly to Dubai. Of course, it's a narrow body, which you and me prefer, wide bodies. But I was like, I really want to do this. But it was a waiting game. So I was looking at this, knowing I would go, but I didn't have the contract yet for the client. So I was like, I'm not going to book until I have the contract. By the time I have the contract, that's December 2025, that route had completely disappeared. I couldn't find ITA. I'd put these, like you do, Google Flights and other websites. You put like these, check my price, warn me if the price goes up or down. And suddenly, no more of this. I go on the official ITA website. Nothing from London, like maybe it was London Lucy, so London City to Fiumicino. Maybe that route is full, or maybe they interrupted that one. So let me try just from Rome to Dubai. Nothing, gone. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Just
apparently it's back on now. We're talking here in May 2026, but it wasn't. So I was so disappointed. Yes, I can do something I can talk about on the podcast, a bit different than another Q Suite. And again, I love the Q Suite, but we have to find some variety in what we talk about. So then I was like, okay, what do I do? We're December, this is going to February. So I'm like, okay, again, Emirates still even more expensive, Qatar more expensive. BA, I don't want to fly them. Let's be very honest. I had one flight with them, a return to Dubai, and I was very disappointed. Besides the fact that it was on a 7-4, that's 2017 when they still had them. And so I'm looking at Oman Air. Have you ever flown Oman Air?
No, but I know someone that has and has raved about it.
Right. So same situation here. I've never flown, but I've heard that it's really great. And the seat looks really amazing. I think it's a similar seat that HEL had on their business class up to now their new ones that I've flown last year.
Okay.
So I was like, this looks really nice. Plus, I could do maybe 1 or 2 days. I've never been to Oman. Which is the country besides Yemen that I've not been in the Middle East. I'm like, maybe I could do 2 days. So I'm like, okay, so maybe I'm going to book this. But I'm, because you and me are similar and probably a lot of people listening to this podcast are similar, you still want to see what else is out there.
Of course. You have to look at it all.
Right? And then suddenly I find a promo that also helps in terms of pricing with Finnair. And it's been a while that I've been wanting to fly that new seat that
doesn't
people,
recline.
Yes, that is non-motorized. I'll come to that, of course. And I was like, I'm so curious about it that I had to do it. So I said, you know what, Oman Air will have to wait. And plus, when I booked, the London to Helsinki was in a 321, that bit. Then the 350, of course, with a new seat. The return also with the 350 with a new seat. And the return from Helsinki to London would be in a 350 with the old seat. And I'm like, okay, three wide bodies out of 4.
Is a good comparison.
Right. Because Oman Air would not have, of course, for a very short flight from Oman to Dubai, would have been like a narrow body. So I'm like, okay, I have like 3 big birds and 1 321. I'm fine with that. Let's go for it. I'm booking. Okay.
Awesome.
Also to make one of our listeners, Mondo Stick, is that your name, man? Mondo Stick 3000 on Threads, who wrote, I think it was last year, that he was very happy that Paul is half one of us. So for those who don't know, my mother was from Finland, I have the passport. My father was from Greece, hence the last name. I have the passport and I speak the language. I don't speak any word of Finn, but I was born and raised in Switzerland, hence the third passport. So I guess I'm half Finn and half Greek and something Swiss. I don't know. I'm 100% everything, to be actually honest with me. But there you go. So Mondo Stick 3000, I hope you're happy that I'm going to talk about not only Finnair, but Helsinki as well today. So a few weeks before, we're talking here of end of January 2026. So I'm flying, so maybe like 3 weeks before. I don't know if you had heard of this, because being in Vancouver, you might be much more remote than here. Suddenly for 2 days, British Airways, Virgin, Air France, and a few others, maybe KLM, stopped flying to Dubai out of security concerns. And I was like, what? There was nothing. There was nothing on the news, right? There was not.
Yeah, I remember seeing this on feeds all of a sudden, just out of the blue. Yep.
So we know that the region has been, this Iran thing has been brewing, so let's not be completely, naive. But it seemed out of the blue. They stopped, and 2 days later, they restarted. I guess maybe they had heard something. We're not in the know. And they decided it was too dangerous, so they stopped. So I was like, oh my God, will I be able to go? And then at that point, I'm like, I don't care what happens. As long as I can go, then if I'm on the ground, I'll figure it out. I'll be at the beach for 5 weeks if I need to stay, if I'm stuck there, whatever. But it was a sign, a telltale that I didn't make more out of back then. But ended up now we know. 2 days before my flight, I'm getting a text from Finnair. And I'm looking at my notes here, hence my hesitation, because I want to have the text in front of me. The schedule for your flight from Helsinki to Dubai has changed. Please accept the change. And it's a text, So first of all, I never click on URL when it's in a text.
Then you're going to accept.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. It says, please accept the change in the URL. I'm like, I don't want to accept the change before I see what the change is all about, right? Mm-hmm. So I go simply on manage my booking, and I look at it, and I'm like, there's no difference. It's the same flight. I have it on Flighty, so I'm looking at the flight numbers. They're the same. I'm looking at I think it's a 2-hour layover, 2-hour stopover. It's the same. I'm like, nothing's changed. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to say accept or nothing or deny whatever. I'm going to
just
wait.
Leave it.
Yeah, just leave it. It's there, and it still says confirm, right, on the Finnair website. So I'm like, I'm good, right? A day before, and I thought I was going crazy. Why did they send me the text? A day before, I got another text, and this time it says that the flight time from Helsinki to Dubai has changed. I'm like, okay, it has changed, and it may be extended by approximately 1 hour due to the flight route adjustment caused by the situation in the Middle East.
Okay.
Okay, that might have been, and I think that was the change. But adding an hour to this whole thing, I'm like, whatever. Instead of arriving, I think at 7 p.m., I'll arrive at 8. I'm like, okay, it's not such a big a change. So, and again, they were not. I know it sounds really bizarre to say that now. Back then, there was not like a big noise that we were going to enter a war of anything.
No,
so I was like, why are they adding? By the way, poor Finnair, because Finnair has been suffering already by the closure of the Russian airspace. And I'll tell the details in a minute, because it's not fun for them. They're really like going in weird directions to make their thing work. Anyway, so I go to Heathrow on the day of the flight. T3, that old crammed terminal.
Yes.
Is that not where you were?
That's where
transferred. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The last two times, actually.
Yeah. It's fine, because because I've normalized it, because I'm like, I go in, I know exactly where things are. I just go.
Exactly.
And it was a super early flight. The flight was leaving at 7:30 a.m. I'm there at 5:30. I have only a backpack. Why am I that early? I mean, that early. Most people come 2 hours early for an international flight, but I would, knowing T3, I could have arrived an hour and 20, an hour 10 minutes. They have the new machines as well. I'm on a fast track security. It's super fast. But I knew that actually at the beginning of this month, I would lose my BA Silver benefits. It was because, I've not flown BA and I don't want to. So I'm like, I'm back to bronze. Mm-hmm. And this would be probably my last shot at entering the Cathay Pacific lounge at T3 for a while, until I either fly Cathay Pacific or any other airline that is One World in business class, or if I ever regain status on one of the One World airlines. So I'm like, I'm going to go early. I'm going to enjoy this view. Yeah, well, I didn't die because of 5:30
in the morning.
Well, they had people on noodles, though, right? They were.
That's
Have you
true.
ever been to that lounge or any Cathay Pacific lounge?
Yes, I've been to a Catholic. Yes, and the cuisine is delightful.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's got to be at the right time of day.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't do the noodles. I was not that nostalgic of not being able to enter it at my will for the foreseeable future that I went for noodles at 5:30. I mean, had it been just, after clubbing, that would have been fine. But no, I had a good night of sleep. So I was like, nah. So I just, I enjoyed my coffee and a croissant. It was in some fruits, and I was looking at the sun rising because by 7 I was going to the gate. So it was nice, and I'm very happy to have done it. So I've known now from the episode with Matt that I should have also have tried the Qantas lounge next door.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I don't know. Maybe one day I will have to fly Qantas to know.
And what you said about T3 is, it hasn't changed in decades. No. So you can rely on that fact to just plan yourself out. Nothing's
the only thing
change or is ever going to change. So you can just go.
The plans are that it's going to change in 2070 or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to be, torn down. But, T1 was supposed to, and I don't want it to be too UK-centric, the episodes, but T1 was supposed to be torn down, hasn't been. It was actually the luggage delivery system for T2 because nobody knew about this, but it was actually used because they had such a bad luggage delivery. Anyway, so it's going to be there for a while. It's not great, but it's okay. But as you know, you need to walk, and then you have these weird,
long and low ceiling,
yes,
random hallways.
Yes, exactly. So we walk, I walk forever. It's fine, not forever. I'm exaggerating for the point of this podcast. It's an entertainment podcast, and we arrive at the gate. And it's a bus gate. I'm like, really? I have a bus gate? Okay, fine, never mind. I'm not enjoying buses, but whatever. I'm very happy to be going to Finnair, to Helsinki, and of course ending up in Dubai. So I'm like, whatever. One bus comes because, I'm business class, I'm in front, whatever. One bus comes, nope, he leaves. Another bus comes, nope, he leaves. No, another bus comes, nope, it leaves. And I'm like, what's happening? None of the drivers are stopping. So there was this moment for and I'm not kidding, 25 minutes, where clearly the ground staff didn't know what was going on. No one seemed to know anything. Boarding time was, supposed to be 6:50 or something like that. It's 7:20 by then. Departure time is 7:30. No, we don't know what's happening. I'm like, okay. Whatever. I had 2 hours at Helsinki. I hadn't been in Helsinki for a while, but I think it should be fine. I don't know whether or not I would have security at Helsinki, but I'm like, the one thing I was hoping is that I would be able to go to a lounge. I was like, come on, don't be too late so I can actually enjoy a little bit of time in Helsinki.
Especially the home base lounge.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where you want to go, yeah.
That's exactly, because I don't have that many chances to go to Helsinki and to fly Finnair. So we finally board. It takes a bit of time. We're late, obviously. It's a 321. I think it was 7 or 8 years old. It's a typical Euro business, which means you have the same seat at in the back, nothing special, just the middle seat is free. I'm in 1A because why not? So I have a little bit of leg room, and the entire row is me.
Okay.
There's not I'm not the first one, but one of the first to board. Because, with the buses, you're never going to be the first one because which door, left, right, front.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's not a lot of people. Then I turn my head and literally every, set of 3 seats, there was only one person up to row 12 or 13.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, well, the business class is not really full. So everybody had their own 3 seats. I had 6 because the entire front row was empty. Well, I had 6. I would only really use one, but so it was nice. Felt almost like a private jet type of experience.
Yeah, that's great.
Nothing about that experience too special to report about. The staff was nice. The breakfast was really nice. It's a 2 hours and 45 minutes maybe flight, so it was fine. Time went on. Watched some content on my phone. Nothing special. There was no Wi-Fi or anything, but it was fine. It was totally what you get with business class in Europe, better service, but it's not a long haul, basically, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm landing, where, of course, as I told you, a bit late. I'm like, I'm fine. Flighty, that line that tells you, it says tight. diet is still fine for people like you and me because they're like, well, whatever, we'll make it work.
Yes. And Helsinki works.
Well, have you been? I was about to ask. Have you been recently-ish or not? To
Actually, recently-ish, not necessarily. No, it's actually, yeah, you're right. You know, Helsinki. You think you go there a lot, but not necessarily. It's been a little while actually.
For me, I think it was. I should have because I have all the stats, but I didn't check before. It's stupid of me. But I think I've maybe 8 years. I haven't been. Of course, COVID kind of interrupted the whole flow, but I think it was 8 years since I had been, maybe 7, maybe a bit less. But anyway, just before COVID, it's 2018 or 2019. Let's put this probably where I went last. But already then they had announced that they were like a master plan, that they were going to expand some of the bits, some of the terminals, and they did. So that's the other thing. I didn't know the new layout, not the layout. I mean, I was looking forward to see like when there's a new airport or at least a refurbish of an airport. It's always nice to see. I like this kind of stuff. So I was like, well, I want to see it. I want to be able to experience this and not having to rush from one gate to another. So we're landing, and of course, it's super winter time outside. Of course, we're in Finland, the north. it's still February, guys. And, it's this thing where you go to a warm climate because I was ending up in Dubai. So you don't bring warm clothes. Mm-hmm. But when the door is open, when you do on the jetty to go into the terminal, you're like, my God, it's really cold. Like I didn't have anything, and I was on basically a t-shirt. But the good news is that as soon as I get out of at the end of the jetty, I look at the board there, and I was landing at gate 46, and my flight would depart at gate 45A. So I'm like, okay, that should be fine. And no security. So
You're just there, yeah.
I'm just there. So the only thing I did is I, went to look for the lounge. There's 2 Helsinki, so we're non-Schengen because, of course, UK going to Dubai. So it's I don't know how to call it, international part, a non-domestic part of the airport. And there's 2 lounges next to each other. One is for, it's called a Platinum Wing, if I remember correctly, and it's for One World something, gold at BA. I mean, the top brass.
Right.
Which, of course, I was silvers and business. So I had access to the other one, which is probably, I don't know the name, probably simply the business class lounge. But first, walking there, I was like, that expansion that I just mentioned is really nice. It's clearly recent. You have huge floor-to-ceiling windows on both sides when you're walking, and you have a lot of Finnair planes because obviously you're in their home hubs of Finnair, and they're like 350, 350. It's really nice, honestly. It's really, plus it's, the sun was rising because it's a morning. So it was really like and it was snowy.
Feels very crisp.
Very crisp, that crisp cold that I really love and miss living here in the UK. So I was like, this is just the views were amazing. Just walking around, like, wow. Very, Finland is not part of Scandinavia, even if most people say that, but a Nordic style. So restrained, minimalist, functional, but still very well thought out. So it's really enjoyable, the experience. It's and a lot of blue, of course, the famous Finnair blue. It's been, I checked that just before we recorded. It's been named the best airport in Northern Europe in 2026, 2025, 2024, 2023, and I can go on. So it's really very often at the top of the rank as being a great airport in the north. Of course, there's not that many airports in the north of Europe, but it's cool. So that Finnair lounge, it's understated. It's very Finnish, again, understated. Nothing in your face, nothing super glitzy. It's functional, but don't take it the wrong way. It's good functional. You know what I mean? It works. Good. It's agreeable. It's comfortable. The seating is nice. The food was really nice because the food they had game, and I like game exactly. Yeah. And that's for me the nicest thing about that lounge. Open kitchen. You feel like in a restaurant.
Nice. So it's not like in this back magical place.
So sometimes these fancy, not only fancy restaurants, they have these open kitchen where you see the guys actually doing the food. I mean, this is there right in front of you. So the kitchen is spotless, and they're doing the game and other stuff like in front of you. And then they bring, they replenish like in a normal lounge, replenish, these big what do you call them, crates
serving things.
Exactly of food. So it's that gives a really nice feel to it. There's a bar. It's kind of a very open space. We're not talking different rooms here. There's a bar. That's the only kind of glitzy area of the lunch. I didn't go to the bar. It was a bit early. I was like, I'm not going to go for a drink now. And I said he was fine. Honestly, will I say it's a magnificent lounge? No. Will I say it's a bad lounge? No. Well, it's more than nice. It's really an agreeable, functional lounge that I was happy to spend time at. The one thing it's missing, there's no windows because it's an internal lounge within the building.
Okay.
So the good thing about how they did it is they're it's not window. I mean, they're glass, but it's kind of these opaque windows. So it lets the sun from outside, it comes inside. So the lighting is natural within, but because it's within and the views would have otherwise been just simply the corridors next to the lounge and people looking at you,
right.
They decided to make them non-transparent. So that's maybe if you're an av geek like you and me, there's no views on the aircraft. So, which is why I stayed for a coffee and maybe a croissant, I don't remember. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to
walk around.
Yeah, and see the aircraft, right? Yeah. So that actually was, to me, for someone who enjoys also architecture, was just better. But I mean, it's a nice lounge. One thing that is really cool, and I know other airports do this, but not enough. The boards not only tell you, of course, your gate, they tell you whether or not you need to clear a passport and how long it takes you to walk there with the time that it takes you to clear a passport or not.
Oh, that's good.
Or security, by the way. So it's really well done.
Yeah.
So my gate was literally 3 minutes.
Right,
because
right.
of course but some others were, and it tells you there's signs, it tells you, okay, you have to clear security and or passport, and it gives you an estimated time, that's other airports should do that. I know there's some do, but I mean, it's really practical to have and actually have the insight whether or not, especially security, because that's a bother. Like, if I'd rather always do like you probably. I always want to clear security and then I'm free, not doing the waiting game on the other side of security. Like, oh my God, now I need to go. Which is why I hate airports that have gate security, like Singapore.
Yeah, Amsterdam.
But do they still? Or Amsterdam, has it changed? Have you been recently?
Yeah, I mean I think they still have it. At least in the older wings, the B and the C. I forget the letters, but yeah.
I haven't been to Amsterdam since COVID, so I don't know. But I had heard, I think that maybe you're right. Maybe it's wing dependent. Anyway.
Yeah. I think the big internationals have it, and then your inter-Europe. It could be a Schengen, non-Schengen thing, actually.
Could be. Yeah, could be. Interesting that in this instance, it didn't have to clear security. So maybe the thing they say is that they have a list of airports they do trust or agreements. So they say like, Heathrow, it's fine. So no need to clear security again. I don't know how it works. Or maybe it's a country, maybe it's Dubai. Maybe it's a country of arrival that says, well, if someone comes from London, because you're Helsinki, we trust you. No need to. I don't know exactly how these works because sometimes, it creates confusion, especially at Frankfurt. Though Frankfurt has a new Terminal 3, so I'm looking forward to try that one day. So then I'm good to, I walk, and then I'm always, I'm looking at my watch and I'm like 40 minutes before the announced time of departure is usually when you start boarding. So I'm always 41 or 42 minutes before. I'm always like near there because I want to, of course, like I just walked here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in front. I didn't realize, I was just walking there. I was not waiting with my bag. So I'm literally, that was for me in this type of scenario, it was the best laid plan because by complete coincidence, I walk and exactly as I enter the gate area, it's not gate area, it's not closed, right? I mean, where people are sat. They make the announcement that the lady opens the thing and I'm the first. I'm like, almost it was made for me. I'm like, okay, well, here you go. Beep.
Paul has arrived. We can open and start.
And then I start walking through that jetty. And the jetty, there was a glass door, when they have these glass doors if you need to wait. By the time I arrive for the glass doors, it opens for me. And then I walk at the actual jetty, at the jet bridge, and I'm in the aircraft. Welcome, sir. And I'm like, okay, that was a perfect entrance for the 350.
Fantastic.
It was a 350-900, 9 years old, I think. And that new seat, you immediately see it. So before I go on, what are your thoughts, of course, if you've not tried it, but like when you saw this seat and when you see it, what do you think about, like just as a an AvGeek, is it something that you're curious about? Is it something you think it will not work? What are your thoughts?
I'm definitely curious, and I think the visual on it is it's quite nice when you first see it, because you don't see all the gaps from things that would normally be moving parts.
Yeah.
You know, when I look at a standard pod, Air Canada, American BA, you see the three sections. Whether my head's going to be there, my back is going to be there, my legs are going to be there, and when it goes flat, will it be smooth? You know, that's my first thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all the renderings and pictures I've seen and reviews I've read about this thing, you know, it's such a smooth couch style, sofa style thing. Yeah, and I think it works. But
yeah,
then again, I mean, I'm a bigger guy, so I'm curious about the dimensions to here. And I mean, you're also tall.
It works. For that, it works. So I will look first when you arrive and you see it, it stands out because it's very different from everything else you've seen because they have this kind of oval shape. So it's not your standard square shape, basically, no matter in which direction the squares are going, herringbone, reverse herringbone, coffin, whatever, So it gives a little bit of elegance to the interior. There are no doors. Well, I'll come to that. There are no doors, so it's also kind of open-ish, but not open to the point that you see everyone. And I was in 2A. 2A is the bulkhead. There's no 1A and not one, I assume, L, K, depending on the, some airlines do L, like Air France, and then stop at K. It doesn't matter if I forgot. I think L. Anyway, there's no, so the center seats start at 1, but the seats on the window start at 2. So I'd taken 2A, obviously, why not? And you sit down and immediately you feel you're in a lounge. Like nice. You understand this marketing of being a lounge seat. It is a lounge seat. As soon as you're sat, you're like, yes, I get it. And the legroom is infinite. It seems that it's infinite because they had to work about having no recline. They obviously have to, when you're to take into consideration that when you're actually going to go into lie flat, if you want by yourself, you need to have the clearance.
Put yourself somewhere, yeah.
Right. They cannot recline the seat backwards. So it gives this impression when you simply sat down that the legroom is infinite. So I'm exaggerating, but it's really big. So in terms of me, no issue. It's a great feeling. You're super enclosed, as in there's no doors, but there's no way you can see anyone else. And I know I'm in 2A, but don't forget there is one, I guess C and whatever in the center.
The middle two, yeah.
Yeah, so the middle two, they are actually in front of me. If they had poorly planned this, I would have seen them, but no, I could not. So it's really well done. You don't need a door to make it very private. So really nicely done. The flight attendant needs to kind of enter to say something. They can just not pass by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it feels really, really, really private. There's not a lot of. There's a side storage, which is almost hidden because the same fabric as the entire seat. Because the entire seat again is a sofa, like a big lounge sofa, and there's very few buttons. Obviously, there's one that takes your table out, the lights, of course, one which is a do not disturb, which to the point I was just making, if you press that, nobody kind of enters your area. And then there is actually one motorized bit. I thought there was none because, of course, imagine when you're sad, like you're sitting right now at your in front of your computer to do this podcast, your legs are down, so you need a hole somewhere to put your legs. But when you are wanting to sleep, that hole needs to be completely closed off. So that is a motorized. It's like an ottoman that just goes up. Okay, that's the only bit that is motorized. So there's still a little engine in there, and I of course at that point in time I didn't try to go directly like this. But I felt very, very, very comfortable. And they give you, I think, 2 pillows and a duvet and a bedding and slippers and, a small amenity kit. It's never going to be like a Middle Eastern airline, but it's really well made, so you're very happy.
So I have a question. You just mentioned 2 pillows and a duvet. And remember in the last episode, we're saying you have all this stuff. But from the pictures, I would think that you have space to put all this stuff, or did you not?
Yes, because, there's 2 storage. One I set on the side, and the second storage is kind of the middle of the seat. Like where this ottoman comes up a little bit there's another story. But this is not even the point. Because of the huge kind of, I tell you, leg room, you could put a bunch of stuff under if you wish, like, you know, where when your feet would be on lie flat. There's of course under it there's some space. So there is actually a lot of space. I didn't have stuff that really bothered me. The pillows, I will say, the pillows are very useful, and the reason they give you two is because this is how you make yourself comfortable. Because since nothing moves, you can have a lot of options how you want to sit once you're taken off. You can sit, you can, you know, basically you can crouch, you can go forward, backwards, you can go slightly on the side, on the other side. You can even put your feet up, but not being lie flat, you know, like you're, you know, crouching in a very comfortable sofa. And these two pillows help you create this comfort. Yeah, exactly. So they are, one is clearly more meant to be the one that you're going to put under your head when you sleep, but they help you. And so that works. I'll get to that in a second because I went to lie flat afterwards. I just want to mention the IFE because when you're sitting there, I mean, nowadays they all tell you about how big the IF, you know, the screen will be. The screen will be the biggest,
bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. But there's still something to be said. I don't know. Don't want to, because I've never been to your house, but I have friends of mine who have TVs that are far too big for the size of their living room. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's something called the ideal vision distance or something. I don't know. And in this instance, because of the way you sat, it's pretty much perfect. You see very well. Could it be bigger? Obviously. I mean, I'm not talking here like 88 inches or some crazy shit. But it's reachable because it's touchscreen, though you have, of course, a remote. So it's well thought out.
Does it
move? God, suddenly no. Does it incline a bit? No, I forget.
Because I feel like this whole thing is meant to just, nothing's meant to move.
No, I don't think it moves. I don't actually remember it moving, which means that when I was in a lie flat situation, I was still seeing it very well. But that's the other thing. When you're still watching it, you can be in almost lie flat. You know what I mean? You still have the top of your shoulders against the back of the seat, and again, playing with these pillows, and your head is slightly, basically, vertical compared to your body. And when you actually are lie flat, you maybe don't watch the screen anymore. It's not an either or. What I'm trying to say here is most other seats I've been, when I'm in full lie flat, sometimes I'm still try to watch telly and I'm trying to put like these pillows.
Yeah, there's no angle for it.
Right, there's no angle for it. Here, you can still play a little bit instead to put your head in a right angle because, again, the back, because it's curved like this, the back can actually help you do that. So, look, it's very clever. It's a very clever seat. I'll get at some point to the point whether it's very good or the best seat ever. But it's a very, very clever seat, and as you can see, I've enjoyed it. By the way, the IFE has a whole explanation about the seat, like nowadays. So of course, I watched it. There's not a lot to say, but it's interesting because they kind of display they give you hints how you could sit, this time.
I just imagine you like curling up into like fetal position at one point.
Well, you could. There will be my closing on this Finnair because of course we'll have a little bit of other topics at the end. I'm not going to try not to be too long about this, but I wanted to keep to the end what I'll say on the return flight. Sorry, what I'll say about the seat. Because I slept more extensively on the return flight because it was a night flight. This flight is a day flight. I mean, it's a day flight. Yeah, it's a day flight. Yeah, I just said it's probably 10 a.m. or something. So yeah, of course it's a day flight. So there's no reason for me to sleep, especially I will arrive at 8 p.m. in Dubai, so I don't want to sleep. So I had put myself in a lie flat position because I want to see how it is, but I didn't spend time doing it, which is why I'll say that for the return flight. Anyway, so on the IFE, there's this thing. There's an intro from Finnair, these welcome videos. I don't know if I like these videos because sometimes can I just get on and watching stuff and not having to have but it was fine because it was the first time I saw it, so I was like, it's okay. If I had to fly that every time, I'm like, come on, can I just not skip? And that's for every airline, whether it's Emirates, Qatar. They all have these very fancy videos. I'm like, I just can.
And is it in 2 languages? And then is it integrated?
Yes.
Okay,
it's
good.
in 2 languages. Yeah. Well, because Finnish, I do not speak Finnish, guys. I said that earlier. I know a few words, more than a few words actually. I can get around, I guess, but my pronunciation is horrible. It's a very complicated language. So on the IFE, once as you see that, they give you, and more and more airlines do this, this timeline. And when they say when will be, and I like that, when the 2 services will be, which is really nice because you have an expectation. The first service will be,
Nice.
the first service is obviously a breakfast. It will be, I think, maybe an hour after takeoff. And the second service, which is not a full dinner, but it's kind of a small dinner before we land. So it's nice. However, they also give you what is the most appropriate nap time. So they tell you, this is the time in Dubai, this is the time in Helsinki. This is where we recommend you to sleep or take a nap more than sleep, because it's not like a few hours, of course, and it's a day flight. And in that instance, the nap time was exactly at the time of the second service. And I'm like, what? So you're telling me I'm going to eat in my sleep, or I'm going to dream only about the food? This is how Finnair works out the cost cutting. You dream about the food, you actually never have it.
You probably only put 50% worth of the food because they know half the people are going to sleep because they told them to sleep.
I guess it's either or. And I guess, anyway, nobody really cares about the perfect nap time or something. And, Finns are known for their efficiency, so I'm sure they can actually sleep and eat at the same time. So maybe it's just I'm not Finn enough. And of course, the button that you and me love in the 350, open camera. And I'm like, oh, yeah, of course, open camera. And immediately, the first camera that I see is the tail one. And by that time, I'm still on the ground, and you see, and it's all snowy. It's really nice. I mean, it's something you're more used to because you live in climates where you'll get the snow. And for me, I was like, this feels like a dream. I was so happy to see the plane surrounded by snow, and it was really, really nice. And it gives you, the usual remaining time of destination, blah, blah, blah. And then we get the announcement. The announcement said, the flight will be longer by an hour. It will be 7 hours. The captain the pilot came on the PA to say that 7 hours instead of 6, I guess, due to the Iran-Iraq airspace closure. Sorry. So I'm like, yeah, well, okay, fine, whatever. Again, as I told you earlier, I'm like, whatever, I'm enjoying that seat for 1 more hour. I mean, come on, do around the world if you want. It's fine.
Now you can nap and eat.
Exactly. Yes. I should have checked if that timeline did take into account the fact that we had 1 more hour. I'm not sure. You're smart.
Gonna have to fly it again. You're just gonna have to fly it again.
Well, exactly. I will have to fly it again, and then we take off. And I was both looking out through the window, but also that tail camera, and you.
Did you de-ice?
Yeah. Of course we de-ice. Yeah, of course we de-ice. I'll have a better story of de-icing on the return flight. But of course, we went to the de-icing spot. It was pretty fast, actually. There was not a lot of traffic, or maybe we're just in a moment in the morning. There's not a lot of departures. It was really quick there, de-iced, champagne and alcohol for the flight. Kidding, of course. The entire thing gets splashed, and then you soaring amongst the snowy plains of Finland. It was really, really, really nice, and then it was sunny, but you still went out of the clouds, and then up to going to Dubai. The person who came to greet me at the beginning, just to say welcome, and also give me this pre-departure drink. I know I'm not chronological because I'm still I just said I departed and I'm on the ground. She was clearly the head of cabin. She was super kind, very seasoned, and very lovely. A bit assertive, like Finns can be, but in a good way, So it was really, really lovely. And she had asked me on pre-departure, "Would you like champagne or blueberry juice?" And I'm like, usually, man, I'm going for champagne, but Finnair is known for that blueberry juice. And I'm getting that blueberry juice. I stopped her like that one in there. Plus their famous signature glass. This glass that looks like a bit
crystal,
of ice. Or something.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Like kryptonite and for
That's right.
And then the food, because I'm not going to do the entire flight. The food. I had pre-ordered actually. I tried. I said, why not? They were the same. There was no difference between what I could pre-order to what they had on before. But I really wanted the salmon because Finns are known the way they do the salmon and the way they do it. So I really wanted it. So I wanted to lock it in, and also the this organic Riesling that they gave me with it was really great. So I'm honestly really good overall. After 7 hours, everything worked for me. The seat worked for me. The IFE worked for me. I was able to see movies I hadn't seen. I loved how I could move again on the seat, find multiple positions. I'm not going to say more for the moment on the seat, but the entire flight was really lovely. I was really happy. So it's definitely a product that I would fly again. And of course, I will fly it a few days later, which I'll come to in a second. I will say the one thing that didn't work was the Wi-Fi.
I was just going to ask.
Yeah, Finnair has no plans, or at least not announced plans, of going to Starlink or similar. I must have spent like 40 minutes trying to get on the Wi-Fi. Didn't work. It was just connecting to satellite and it would not connect. And then she came and says, you have an issue. I think she was maybe, I don't know. Did I tell her? I forgot. But they rebooted the system. Then I said, you know what? Doesn't matter. I don't need Wi-Fi. I'm going to watch some content. I wanted to see how it worked more than actually needed. Didn't need to work. But no, no Wi-Fi for the entire flight. But yeah, they need Starlink like everybody else, or because their competitors are Starlink, but they need something like that. The route, that's the most. I told you that. I mean, you know the world. We went all the way down to Lebanon, like in a straight down route, then in Lebanon over Beirut. Just after Beirut, you turn a sharp turn going over Damascus. And then over Saudi, and when we're in Saudi, from below the UAE, from below Dubai, we go back up. So that's kind of a big, detour. They wanted to avoid, I guess, Iraq and Iran, and for them, because they're like on the side of Russia, there's not a lot of options. So it was a weird route, and because of course I had the map throughout the whole flight because I want to see what's happening. So it took, at the end, it took only 45 minutes longer than planned. So it's not that bad, It's okay. I mean, the final was very shaky.
Yeah.
There must have been quite a lot of winds, or the pilot never had flown this aircraft before. It was just going left and right, and banking on one side, and banking on the other side. Damn it. It was more corrections and corrections and corrections. I'm like, at some point I was like, is that unstable? Is that an unstable final?
You have to do a go around.
The F is going on here. Then he opened deployed the landing gear, and suddenly it became a bit more stable. So I was like, oh, it's fine. And then just at the very end, when he's flaring up, it's banking left and right again. I was like, so I was like, it must have been. I'm kidding, because I'm sure the pilot is very seasoned professional. It must have been very windy, a lot of crosswinds. Wow. I mean, I'm never scared into a situation. Are you? Or
no.
Yeah.
But still, you still just feel it, like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There can be an unease
Yes.
because, like all of us, we're not flying the aircraft. There's a limit of what we can do about it. And you're like, really? Is that? So, by the way, I was saying, is it unstable? That was a joke. It was probably not unstable at all. But, at some point you're like, well, what's going on here? So we're moving around. And of course, because the wind, you cannot see it physically. Mm-hmm. You're like, is it really windy? Or is it just the guy just like, on that little joystick they have in Airbuses, like left, right, go up, down.
Exactly.
Anyway, we arrive at Dubai Terminal 1. I'm sure you've been. I've never asked you. Have you been to Dubai?
Yes.
And have you been to the Emirates terminal, or have you been to the everybody else terminal?
It was the Emirates terminal. I've only ever done Emirates and out of Dubai.
Nice, because Emirates terminal is T3, it's called. And they changed the name, was T3, T3C, whatever. It's T3. It's really nice. Of course, it's where they put the money. Mm-hmm. Apparently, I've heard they have a new first class experience now. I was lucky enough to have done a few times the first class, departing from Dubai first class. So They're still investing, even though they are moving to that new airport in 2031. That's the latest, 2031, I think. I think that the new terminal there, DWC, will cost 40 billion. Something. Whatever. The timeline was pre-war, so I don't know if it's still, Dubai is still fine, by the way, nowadays. It's not like heavy bombing or whatever. So I don't know. But I mean, basically in 5 years, they're leaving. And in Terminal T1, which is where everybody else lands, besides the low cost have their Terminal 2, which is on the other side of the runways. Terminal 1 is not great. It's a bit like they've built it. I remember because it was called Concourse D back then. When I went, sorry, I'm going to say that differently. When they opened, I went a week later. So I remember it brand new. They have not touched it since, which means it's not that long ago. It's maybe 10, 15 years. It shows.
It's wearing down.
Yeah, it shows. And I get it. If you're going to move in 5 years, do you want to redo? No. But it shows. And when you exit, so I always said many times for those who are long-time listeners to these podcasts, I always said that the exit from T1, again, T3, we're very well organized because it's Emirates, so they have all the chauffeur drives and they have it's really nicely organized, even if you're in economy, because I've done also economy to Dubai. T1 is like you arrive and everybody's shouting and it's a mess. You don't know where to go. And they changed, by the way, for those who go, they changed the system of Uber. Uber used to be like whatever, like there was a zone, but the zone was super big and you didn't know where to go. So now you don't even, when you pre-book an Uber or the one I'm using, Kareem, they don't give you a plate number. You just join a queue. The queue, yeah, and at the very start of the queue, it's basically like a taxi stand, but for car hire. That's when your app tells you, because you're basically about to enter the car which is there, and you match with the car that is there. There's no are you Paul? Are you Vinod?
Looking, so the driver has no clue where they're going.
Exactly. So it's great because he's less stressed about finding the guy or the lady who's driving, but the queue makes you feel. The queue was probably 40 minutes long.
40 minutes.
Yeah. And at that point, I was like, should I take the metro? The metro is a very convenient way. You can go directly, especially for where I was staying. I could have gone with the metro, and I should have probably. It was late. I just wanted to get to my hotel, have a beer, and go to sleep. But I need to work the next day, and I was like, I don't want to. And you know how it is, sunk interest. Once you're in the queue, you're like, yeah.
See, that extra hour of flight time.
Yeah, so that's why there's that, plus, exit, plus, I mean, what do you call that? The machine where you put your passports at Dubai, T1, are they also from 1938 or something? No, they're really bad. You put your passport, it doesn't work. The ones at Emirates now, they're super well, because again, they invested. These ones are like, oh, God damn it. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It's a bit of chaos, and I'm not used to chaos, and I like that, to be honest. Dubai was a bliss itself. Again, it was just before the war, guys. I went to some of the migrants areas to have some good food, like Pakistani areas, Indian areas, Malaysian, actually. I went for Malaysian food as well. So the less glitzy part of Dubai, where because I'm the only white guy, basically. And also to see, because it's a part of Dubai that is disappearing fast, because... they're building all these new build for the migrants, which is great, because everybody gets an upscale or a better, place to live. But, there's some kind of patina and fabric to these old buildings and they're, they're being torn down. So I wanted to see them and take some pictures or whatever. And then I went the last day because I had to work. Of course, the conference was great. Step was great. Thanks to Ray and everybody, Azza and everybody. And then I went just at the end. I had never been at the very end of the runways of Dubai Airport. So not on the ring road. There's a ring road. I didn't have a car. I didn't want. And where do I stop? But there, you can take a metro. And of course now, because I didn't plan saying that, there's a metro station where the metro basically you can see the end of the runway, not like 5 meters in front of you,
right?
But when the planes are departing this direction, which was the case that day, they are very close to you. So you can take very nice pictures. They are still maybe, 200 meters, not more. Like they just had taken off maybe a minute before when they pass you over. So they are they're not just, it's not here San Martins or Santorini where they're just above you, not Santorini, Corfu, I forgot. Anyway, but they are like it's. So I took like a lot of cool pictures with 380s and 777s and others, and it's a cool spot for those who love to spot big birds, especially because it's like one of two is a 380.
Exactly. Another. That's all you're gonna get there.
Yeah, that's cool, and that's That's really cool. That same night, I went to have dinner. So I was flying that night. I went to have dinner at a friend, Sid and Aditi. Hi, Adi. Hello, because I'm sure you're going to listen to this. Great pizza and beers. And then I went to the airport, and it's a busy time. It's Friday night. Friday is super busy for Dubai airport. Yeah, and the queue of Finnair is huge. All right, oh my God. But backpack only, mobile boarding, didn't have to queue. So I'm so happy that I didn't, have to check in anything, because I directly went to the security. That was amazing, because it never happened to me at T1. It happened to me at T3 with Emirates. I arrived there and it's pure biometrics. No need to scan my passport. Nothing. It looks at I'm walking, looks at me, opens the door. That's it. I'm recognized. I can exit the country, I guess.
And
that was impressive.
Where did it take your face?
Tell me. I don't know. I guess. I mean, first of all, I'm pretty sure they have the database of me. Maybe for instance, first of all, having gone for nearly 20 years, and probably the way when I entered, because at that time I had captured.
Okay.
And they know, and then they know they have the API, so the advanced passenger information. They know I'm supposed to be in the airport. They just match it with the passport. I mean, trust me, it was really. Oh, by the way, on the way when I was doing the match with my passport. Clearly, they had all my names already. I'm clearly in the system because I've been there.
Yeah.
Some people don't like that, but it's at the same time it's also practical.
Exactly.
So yeah, but it was very weird. Like the camera, the doors open. I'm like, okay, so well, that's it. It's probably the future, but it's still kind of you feel almost guilty. Like, was I not supposed to talk to someone?
Yeah. You feel like an agent's going to spring out of nowhere saying, "You stop. You've just breached."
The contrast, however, the security, super old still, all the no new machines, whatever. It's fine, a few minutes. I don't really enjoy the lounges there, so I ended up going to a normal area. There was not that. I found an area where there's not too many people, so I went for something very strange. I usually don't mention the kind of stuff, but I had never seen in my life. Evian, the water.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Evian sparkling. I was like, what? Okay. So I had that. It's nice. It's just sparkling water, guys. But I mean, for me, sparkling is usually Perrier or San Pellegrino or whatever. But I was like, Evian sparkling? Anyway, probably only in the UAE, man. Only in Dubai. So, yeah, it was fine. And then I see on my flighty, the inbound plane is 40 minutes late. And I'm like, on the return, I only had, at this very start, I think an hour and 30 minutes. 20 minutes. It was really tight. 40 minutes late arrival. I'm like, oh, God. Officially, on the board, it's retimed. It says 25 minutes late. And it's not that I don't trust the board, but I trust Flighty more in that instance. And by the way, at 1 a.m., we're supposed to have already boarded. We're still at the gate. So there's no way. We are late.
You're late now. Yeah.
So the boarding, the boards are very optimistic, kind of. I guess the reason is they want you to stay at the gate, because if they say that it's going to be an hour and a half, then people go and scatter around or something. Anyway, so at that point, Flighty tells me your connection is now 28 minutes. And I'm like, I mean, by the way, and I told that to our friend of Flighty. The name of Helsinki is HEL.
Yes.
I mean, that's the perfect thing you could have put on Flighty. Risk at hell. I mean, it's evident, right? Because they call you risky at hell. I mean, they should have played with and made
especially the red that
joke.
Comes in.
Yes, it was really about to be hellish at Helsinki. Then it goes, how Flighty is live from 28 to 23 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God. And I still don't know at this point, will I have security? Because I didn't have on the way, but I told you, I don't know what. I'm like, you know what? At that point,
I feel like you should have it.
At that point, I think, and I don't know how you would have negotiated that with yourself. I'm not thinking about that. I need to get into that flight one step at a time.
Roll,
I'm going to
roll.
Yeah. I'm enjoying that. I'm going to enjoy that flight, and then let's see what happens in Helsinki. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 flights it would be a Saturday, to what's the name? To London. Sorry. So I'm just gonna get another one. The only thing that I would have been disappointed is I would have not gotten the 350 service back to London,
Right.
and I would have been back to a 321. But that's whatever. At the end of the day, I'll be fine. So the plane is again a 350. It's 7 years old, I think. The staff, it's going to be a shorter description for this one. The staff is super excellent, lovely. The boarding goes well. I'm again, same seat 2A, very happy. And the announcement, the pilot comes on the announcement that says, sorry for the longer routes. And then, because, there's still some ruckus. We're still on the ground. People are still kind of moving around. So I cannot hear it. And I should have, but I didn't put my headphones there. So I'm listening a bit like, what is he saying? And I'm like, did he just say headwinds? I'm like, oh no. So not only we have to take a longer route, but then we have headwinds. And almost like clockwork, when I'm thinking that, I'm looking at flighty 17 minutes for your connection. Ooh. So it went from 28 to 23 to 17. I'm putting flighty away. I'm not looking at it, whatever. We take off, all good. But then, and that was something, we maybe 30 minutes into, no, not even, like very quickly in the flight, we leveled already. There's an alert that comes on my screen, and the alert says, check your connection. I'm like, what do you mean check my connection? I'm like, this is really well made. So I press on check my connection. And there's a list of connection at Helsinki, and we are like 7-8 hours away, right? There's a list of connection at Helsinki airport. Mine is highlighted, so they clearly know that I'm supposed to be Paul and I'm at that seat. London is highlighted, and then it's a table. For each connection on the side, there are status. And my status on my line for London says, in green, will wait.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
That is cool. I mean, it's cool that they will wait, but it's also cool that they already know and already telling me
they will wait.
Like 8 hours before my flight, they will wait. And I'm like, so they probably, they have an algorithm. They know how long now, approximately, once you're in the air, they're like,
yes,
this is the time we will take. This is probably when they're going to land. It should be fine. We will wait. And I'm like, wow. Because even though at that point, as I just said, I don't want to think about it. It takes something out of your, and even if you had said, will not wait, I don't know what the other status would have been, then I'm like, well, at least it's gone, whatever. I'll do something else.
Exactly.
You know where you're standing. So it's really nice. And he already told me that I would be landing at gate 44 and departing at gate 42. So it's already there. I'm like, wow, this is really nicely done, right? Honestly. So yeah, kudos to Finnair for having and actually displaying this, because I'm sure other airlines have this. And I've seen that in one other airline. So I'm not saying Finnair has exclusivity of doing these kind of things, but the fact that they're displaying it to you is so well done. Instead of, calling someone, do you know, can you inform yourselves about, it's really
Or when you
great.
land, there's like an agent with like a printout and everybody's hitting up that agent at the end of the jet bridge to be told this information.
Especially, the printout of the matrix.
Dot matrix, yeah.
Dot matrix.
It's like this long, it's like shuffling through.
I had dinner, really nice. I remember when she was taking the plates and everything, the tray away from me, she says to me, I guess you would say to all the passengers, it was not an announcement, she says, we'll have some turbulences soon, so that you know, because, I kept a drink. And man, over Saudi, which is pretty early in the flight, we started moving like crazy. Yeah, well, she knew something. And the route we took, again, this time we went up to Greece, man. We didn't go up at Lebanon. We literally started going up when we reached Greece. So it was, down over Saudi straight, I guess, straight-ish, straight towards Greece. So over, Jordan, over Lebanon, I guess. So and then when we're in Greece, in like mainland Greece, I'm not talking the islands close to Turkey, then it took a turn up north to go to, I'm like, this adds not only 45 minutes, this added like an hour and 10 minutes or something. I mean, maybe they have no choice. Again, I'm not criticizing the decision. I'm just saying it's
just interesting.
I was about to say, can you go a little bit further? Maybe you can land in London directly.
At this point.
I had a great sleep. So back to the seat. I had a great sleep. I will say, look, it's a great seat. I will take it again tomorrow. No hesitation. If I have another promo price, or even like no promo, by the way, sorry, I should not say that. I will only go if they have a promo. I will take them. I love the service. I love the seat. I will say that I would understand that not everybody loves it. I'm sure that some people would say, I do not like the fact that I cannot have a proper recline, if you want, as in I need to feel myself around, not the seat adapting to me. You know what I mean? And some people maybe also, and I don't want to be ageist, I'm already 50, guys, but maybe more elderly people will find difficult to move around the way I did. I don't know. I've never heard that, but I'm just thinking out loud. I can understand that some people, I'm not saying they're not going to like it. They might not be their favorite. Yeah. To me, it's amongst my favorites. I really enjoyed it. I was really happy with it. I slept like a baby on this flight. I slept, honestly, like as soon after this Saudi thing I just told you about, the turbulences, I slept almost until like an hour before we landed. So, but I will say that probably some people will say it's not for me.
Yeah.
So you need, basically, Vinod, if you want, you need to see if it's for you.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's the directive.
My recommendation, if you, I know some people, sleep on their back, some people sleep on their belly, some people sleep on the side. So I'm kind of usually either back or sides, right? If you tend to sleep on your left side, 2A is perfect. If you tend to sleep on your right side, because of the way your knees, your legs, if go, when you crouch a little bit, when you, this is not. You should go on the other side of the aircraft. Okay, you should.
Because I'm a left, so too. The A seats are good. Okay,
I'm a left as well, but I mean I can do both. But so simply because even though I said 2 is a bulkhead seat, it's the same. All seats were molded the same. There's no difference in your footrest or anything.
It's not a leg rest.
Yeah, there's nothing special about that seat in terms of the layout. So I know that every seat on that side is the same. And when I was trying to sleep on the other side, my knees would be a little bit touching. I mean, no big deal, right? I slept very well. I'm saying, just as a recommendation, you fly Finnair. If you sleep on your left, A. If you sleep on your right, I think it's L. At the end, I think the other side is not K, it's L. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Guys, this is my recommendation for you if you ever fly with Finnair with that seat.
What about when
I woke? Sorry?
What about in the middle? Like if it's a couple, a lot of airlines market the middle 2 for 2 people traveling together.
What they did is that they have, I mean, I didn't try it, but they have, if I'm not mistaken, do they have an opening? I'm pretty sure they have an opening, which can be closed. But the seat is the same. There's just, this slightly angled. They're not angled. I don't know how to, they're oval, so they're like pods. I don't know how to describe them. I think, guys, you need to just Google image them or AI image them, whatever you guys do nowadays. I didn't try. And I was not with my better half, so I cannot tell you. Yeah. I don't know. I should have looked. Maybe I'll find a review for next time about someone who did that. You're right. Do you when you fly with you? I mean, you have a kid, so you don't.
Yeah, but we've traveled we've enjoyed, and it's funny. Some airlines, how do I put this? You're shoulder to shoulder or you're foot to foot.
Yeah,
like in that middle part, and we're like, well, which is the right way? And I think, shoulder to shoulder, because you want to enjoy the experience. You want to chat. You want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I remember when foot to foot, it was EVA. You're kind of yelling across, and we're having to like unbuckle and lean to the wall. Because Air Canada is shoulder to shoulder. You can lean your head.
You can talk.
It's just a bit more. Yeah.
Emirates is more the business class 380 is more straight, but one of each as the console on the left, on the right. So basically, if you really want to be a couple, which I've done with better half, you want to have the center seats we have where the consoles are on each of your sides. So you're really like almost like in a enclosed cubicle type of thing. So that's I've done with friends, however, not better half. I've done the Q Suite center thing. I mean, let's be very, very clear. I didn't book that. I was booked on a window seat. And my 2 friends were booked also on the window seat. But we didn't realize we were flying in the same flight, and there was no one in the flight in business class. So we took over the center thing, the famous family thing they do at Q Suite. And it's really nicely done. You can really, like, shoulder to shoulder, you can talk to people directly.
Yeah,
it's really it's really well thought out. By the way, they are releasing yet a new version of it.
I saw.
Q Suite.
Again.
Like, I don't know, but it's like in this year, like they said, fall 2026 on the 350 only, but the Dash 1000. Anyway, back to shoulder. Yeah, me too. Yeah, the one airline where you can be sure that you can be foot to foot is non-allegris Lufthansa, because any seat you go, you'll be touching the feet of the passenger next to you. It's just like that. This is why I don't like that seat at all, especially as a tall guy, because I will inadvertently touch the feet of the other person next to me. There's just no way of avoiding it. I'm just tall. So yeah, don't fly Lufthansa unless if you're a couple and you're into that feet thing. I don't know. Back to flying. So I wake up and there's only like an hour remaining. I went again to that connection thing. It was not flashing or anything, but it's there. It's one of the menus, and you still will wait. And because at that point, I should have said at that point, I think Flighty was telling me I have 7 minutes or something. I don't know. Like, it was really very, very, very low. I had Wi-Fi on that flight. Normal Wi-Fi, nothing fancy, and the arrival gate had changed, I think. So it's clearly live. It's not the same information that we're giving you back after the departure, but he was still saying we'll wait. And then the pilot comes, of course, we're doing final preparations, and the pilot says, "Clear skies, temperature minus 20 Celsius." And I'm like, oh my God, minus 20 Celsius. Oh dear, it's an early morning. So when we deplane, I'm, of course, because I'm like, man, no matter what, no matter they will wait, I want to run. So I'm like the first in front of door one. I'm like, I'm ready to go. And there's a guy behind me. He's also called Paul, like me. And he also had to catch the same flight. Oh. And he tells me, like, he just had a hip replacement. And I'm like, you cannot run. I'm like, you know what? My mission is I will not let the next flight depart without you. Trust me, I'll run. I'll not
you
let
will hold that flight.
Yeah, I will hold that flight for you. You're another Paul. You have a great name. I'll do that. And as soon as they opened and the flight attendants were smiling, but I was like, no, trust me, I'll do it. It was actually very kind. Like, he clearly couldn't really walk fast, just he had a hip replacement, man. And I started running, and there's like probably 10 minutes. When I look at the watch, 10 minutes. And I have to go through security. Oh, God. So it's fine. There's almost no one to security. So I go to a line. There's no one. And my backpack gets a secondary. And I'm like, and there's literally only, because I'm very good at this, I have a little bag with all the stuff that could be problematic. My camera is already out. My phone. There's nothing but clothes on this thing and a pair of shoes. And she took like a courtesy look, I guess. And she's like, go. I'm like, was it? So either it was random, or she was particularly sadistic because she saw me running and she wanted
to slow you down.
And then I ran, and it was only like a minute from the security to that gate. And they were waiting indeed. And I'm like, Paul is behind me. You wait for him. There's no way I'm leaving this man behind. They're like, yeah, okay. Whoa. And the reason I know they waited, because he must have been, I'm not sure, but I haven't seen him again. He must have entered through the other door, which was for economy. I guess that's and where is entered for, I think. Anyway, the point is, a few minutes after departure, I know they made the flight. He made the flight, Paul. Hi, if you ever listen to this, I don't think he will. I don't know why it would be. But the flight attendant came to me to say that not only he made it, but that he was really thankful and appreciated that I ran and I held the flight for him. And I told her, like, I didn't hold the flight. I just told you, and you know that he was coming. But I just told you that, hey, it's not because he's slow that we can wait another 5 minutes. So I'm happy. Both Paul and me have been able to take the flight. So that was, and they were very kind about the entire situation. They departed late for us, basically.
So was the entire plane boarded, and you were...
Yes.
Wow.
You have a little bit of this walk of shame.
Yes.
I was not, by the way.
You had a short walk.
No, because I was not in 2A. Because I remember I was supposed and I should have said the surprise is that this was supposed to be the old seat, but I enter it's the new seat again.
Oh,
So I'm like, wow, a third time the new seat. But obviously they just had transferred what I had booked as the old seat to the new seat, and I was in 6L. Oh, L, yeah, there you go. L is the other side. Not that it's too far of a walk, but you still have to go in front of, and L is the other side. So everybody looks at you. I mean, that's fine. But you're clearly the reason why they cannot take off. And we're already late on departure time. Basically, when I entered the flight, it was departure time. Okay. And then we had to go to de-icing. You know de-icing. So it's something I want to, I know. Okay, hold on. Before de-icing. It maybe happened to you because you've have through your work. Which airport was it when you were working for de-icing? Which was it?
here at Vancouver.
Vancouver, yeah. That was not before I go to de-icing. That was, and I'll make an analogy where car driving. I think it's an analogy that everybody can understand. Most of you actually do drive or actually have been driven. You know when you parallel park. You know, I know friends from America, you do not parallel park. That doesn't exist. I'm kidding. But in countries that we have smaller roads, we do parallel park. And you know how sometimes you have to go a little bit like backwards, forward, back. This was how we got towed away from so, you know, you feel suddenly the tow. So the plane starts going backwards away from the gate and returns in the gate position. And again, and it returns in the gate position, and again, and then it turns a slightly different way. And again, like maybe it was not angled the right way. Of course, I think the tug was not getting any.
The tug was spinning out. Yes. I've seen this because I was the agent on the bridge, watching it, and the panic and the chaos.
Oh my god! And you know, it was really rocking the plane. Yeah. So clearly, at first I didn't because then I put also the camera. That's a great thing with 350. I put the camera and I could see the. No, it's not true. I could not see. Yeah, I could see the tug. Yeah. Anyway, the point is, we did 6 times, and the sixth time, yeah, you know, the first 2 times you're like, okay, maybe he was not angled. I didn't think I should have. Now it seems evident, but like, did he took a wrong turn? You needed to turn the other way, so let's go back. No, it was clearly it was pushing, and you could feel the last time that the guy was just pushing like madmen because the entire plane was rocking, you know, like moving about.
It's rudimentary. Sometimes they'll bring like a second vehicle to push onto the tug. They'll throw sand down. They'll throw anything they can.
I'm pretty sure they must have, I didn't see it, but they must have thrown some stuff. I mean, these airports are equipped. It's the first time it happened to me. I was thinking about you, like, man, what the... This is why I said about parallel park is not the exact, but I mean, you go back and forth and back and forth. It was like, is he trying to get out of the parking spot? No, it was basically the tug was just no grip. I think it was the charm of being in an airport like Helsinki. It was really cool, by the way. It's nothing, not a complaint, right? It was like, it's really fun. Yeah. And then, of course, where are we going? De-icing. And I'll keep with my car analogy. And that's one you drive, so you'll probably understand that. You know that feeling when you find a parking spot, and you're like, finally I find a parking spot. And you see the driver so there's a car there, but you see the guy in the car. You're like, okay, I'm going to wait for him to leave. And for some reason, because they're checking their phones, they're not leaving. And that, you're like, what the hell? How are you going to leave? This is what happened. And I didn't talk to the pilot, but this is really how he felt. So we arrive, and there's multiple, of course, spots of de-icing in an airport like Helsinki, because everybody needs to de-ice. But because you have these external cameras, I can see what's happening, right? And I can see there's the 350 in front had finished de-icing and just wouldn't leave. And you could feel our pilot, our 350, getting a bit impatient because he was going
easing off the
forward, a little bit forward, a little bit forward. It was like, is he going to end up pushing the plane out of position? Like he was, I don't know. I don't have, this is really how it felt, right? It was like, and then of course, when he was literally close, the guy who left. I don't know what actually happened. It was really fun. This is how it felt for all of us. It was like, is he going to leave? He took us, and then, champagne and alcohol again for all the colors on the windows. Super cool because also it was early in the morning. So the sun was rising. So that mix of the sun, of the colors, the sun. So these early colors of the sun, orange like this. The fact that with these temperatures, when they push these, what color are they again? These alcoholic one is kind of
The first one would be orange to clean.
orange rusty. Yeah, I was going to say. And the second one is green.
Yeah, kryptonite green, and that's going to stay on that wing until you take off.
So these two, plus the sun, plus the fact that because it's so cold and these liquids with the temperature, they create these smoke. Mist.
Yeah.
That creates like a science fiction atmosphere. It's amazing, man. The pictures I've taken are amazing. The sun rising in the same time. I'm like, you can de-ice for the next hour if you want. It's full fun. I mean, it takes some time with a 350. It was really wonderful, man.
Yeah.
It's I know this is something even though you were in the cabin de-icing the stuff, it's a nice symphony.
Yes.
I really.
Especially from the trucks, from the outside, when you're in sync with your fellow colleagues and you kind of all approach together, and there is a bit of choreography that can happen.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. There was I forgot what it was, maybe a CRJ. There was like a smaller aircraft nearby. I think it was Finnair as well. So maybe not. Do they have CRJ? No, maybe not. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's funny because compared, it's the same. How do you call this? The thing with a cabin. It's a tug with a cabin with
de-icing truck. Yeah.
Truck. Yeah. It's the same one. Of course, they're not going to create a different one for a different size of aircraft. But you see, it's the difference between, because there were like 3 other 350s. Us, of course, and that little thing. You felt at some point it disappeared under all the alcohol and the mist because it's so small as an aircraft.
Yeah, it just vanishes out.
It's like it vanishes out. I was like, this is like a David Copperfield, no airplane. Abracadabra, no more airplane. It was really great.
That's awesome.
So, sorry, I'm getting. Anyway, it's almost done with my description. So and then actually the pilot came. Oh yeah, so we lined up and took off on this beautifully sunny, early, crispy, cold morning with a lot of snow in Finland. It was really wonderful. And the pilot came right after when we leveled. It said that he apologized for the delay because of the slippery stand. He said the slippery stand. He did say it, so that was proof that it was really the slippery stand that was, and also the time it took at de-icing. So that tells me that he was unhappy of the other guy not moving.
Yeah.
All went well, 3 hours and some change to go back to London. Not a lot to say, but they didn't a bit of difference of service. They do not give you headphones because it's considered, I guess, intra-Europe, even though you're on a 350, even though it's the same plane that you would have taken. So no headphones. I think they give you these little earbuds, but I had my AirPod Max or something with a cable to link it. So I'd like, no, thank you. And my IFE crashed, and it rebooted itself automatically and relaunched, and it was working within 2 minutes. And I was like, I have not seen anyone intervene. That's what I'm trying to say. Usually
you have to call someone.
And if you're unlucky, they have to reboot the entire IFE for the entire plane. That happened to me once. Or your row, or your cabin. It happened as well to me once. Or simply your row. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know which one is worse. Because at least if it's the entire aircraft, no one knows it's you in row 88. If it's just your row, all the other guys, you kind of have to acknowledge it.
Especially if they've seen that you've had a conversation and put your IT ticket in.
Right. So in that instance, I don't know if it's a thing or maybe I was lucky. And I kind of stood up a little bit to see, am I the only one having an issue? Yeah, I was literally the only one. It's not the entire aircraft that was rebooted. So I don't know if they have some fancy system that says, like a
redundancy. Like it just sort of knows, right?
It was cool.
Nice.
Took 2 minutes and I was back on the IFE. And it's also rush hour at Heathrow. It's always rush hour at Heathrow anyway. I don't think there's a moment in time where there's no rush hour at Heathrow. Pardon me. I will say it is really nice to be in a wide body in Europe. That doesn't happen. You have the luck, and you'll tell us a little bit. Later, you have the luck to be in a country where you do wide bodies.
True.
In Europe, it doesn't happen. So when you get that chance, even though I just had done the same plane basically, but doing it in Europe it was really great. I think we should ban narrow bodies and just like have Dreamliners and 350s, and that's you go. Yeah. That's it. Just I think it's good for the environment as well. I'm pretty sure. Find an angle. Let's ban all these small aircraft and just pit me the big ones, please. It was my only regret, and I'll finish with that. No, I will say before I say my only regret, because I want to reiterate, I will fly Finnair again, including the 321. It was a very nice experience. I really enjoyed that new seat. I really enjoyed the service in general. I will. There's nothing that basically I want to fly them again. At a time where One World to me is less attractive because now I have more actually status on Star Alliance, and I've historically always preferred Star Alliance. I mean, the reason for me of One World is Qatar.
Yes.
Not even Cathay. I know people love Cathay. I never fell in love with Cathay. Personally, I'm not saying it's a bad airline, but I never had a connection with Cathay, whereas I have a little bit of a connection with Singapore, and which I find better than Cathay. And overall, with Turkish as well, I find Star Alliance a better offering. But Finnair, I will probably fly them again.
No, that's really nice to hear. Yeah.
The only regret, it's not to do with because I'm dumb as a rock. There's something I love. There's many things I love. Products in Finland, and there's a lot of them you can buy at the duty free if you want to shop at Helsinki. And the reason I say I'm dumb is because obviously we would, no matter the delay, the late arrival of the flight from Dubai to Dubai, the flight that we were bringing me back to Helsinki. If we had like a longer flight to go there, we would have a longer flight. So no matter what, I would have had no time to go shopping because my connection would have been tight even without the delay. And I had 2 hours an hour and some change on the way there, and I didn't buy about only one. So for anyone who's Finnish and likes me, please buy me this. It's called sisu. If for those who watch the video, it doesn't matter. Sisu. I'm not going to be able. Suola salmiakki, I think.
Yes.
It's a salty salmiak. It's like sharp and tangy and salty,
licoricey and all
stingy.
together.
It's licorice, yeah.
But
instead of being like sweet licorice, it's this kind of stinging kick that I love. And I took 2 boxes, which I finished, of course, in Dubai. And I kept the box, and I cannot find them here. So that's for me the best reason to fly to Helsinki, just airport.
It's for the salmiakki.
25,000 of those. This is the brand I prefer, Roihu. I don't know how, guys, my Finnish friends and family, because I have family as well, I don't know how to pronounce these names, so please. Sisu, I'm pretty sure, but salmiakki? No, I'm not sure. I cannot do Finnish, guys, but this is a reason. So if you know me and you fly from Helsinki and you fly to London, please bring me some of those, because that's the reason I will probably fly to Helsinki next, is to go back and
just to get that.
I went to we have like Scandinavian and Nordic places. I couldn't find this specific. I tried all the other. This is the brand I love. Anyway, that was my only regret. There you go. So would you now that I've said that, would you fly? Are you still interested in flying this seat from
Absolutely.
Finnair?
Yeah. No, I think, and then, while you're talking, I quickly pulled it up just to remind myself what the seat looked like. And I think it works,
Yeah, I think, look, and I'm not here promising that you will love it. Maybe some people, again, I understand why. I cannot say it's the best seat in the world. I think it's a very, very, very comfortable seat. I understand the business decision because there's also less movable parts, so less to repair.
Oh, way more sustainable, yeah.
Yeah, but I also understand that probably some people will prefer a more traditional seat. And by the way, maybe you remember, it seems to me, I have a memory that BA, there was a rumor like in 2018 where we had no BA Club suite thing. There was a design. I think this is his famous. I forgot, of course, the name now. This famous London-based. They do designs for a lot of the stuff for airlines. Mm-hmm. They did, and they had created. And I think that's that seat. I'm pretty sure that at some point, British Airways must have been either considered that seat, or at least it was in their, on their horizon. It was one of the, and they didn't take it. They went for a more traditional one, and then maybe Finnair said, we'll try that. Yeah. I'm maybe for BA, because they're a bigger airline, it was maybe too much of a dramatic change, and they were afraid that actually some people might not like it. Whereas Finnair, they maybe need a differentiator. I'm not sure, guys, if it's the same seat, but I'm pretty sure that there was drafts that I've seen online that dates
BA.
2018, 2019 that looked exactly like what you're looking at on your screen right now. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not.
And I think it's something that'll sets Finnair apart,
Exactly.
right? Because if
100%.
Finnair had the traditional stuff, then I mean, great.
Well, I
airline,
had done
but this is
the
something different.
previous. I had done the previous 350 seat.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice, but it's nothing special. It
Yeah.
was a bit narrow. I mean, it's great. It was business class, guys. I'm never going to complain about business class. It seems very. And then I fly a lot in economy, guys. But of course, these are the ones I want to talk about on the podcast. But yeah, no, I will. Look, let's move on because I want you to have a little bit something to say in this podcast as well. But I'll first say that we are on Apple Podcast Video. Apple Podcast Video has been released only a month ago. So I'm not going to call ourselves pioneers for being there, but
One of the first.
there's very few shows, like small shows. They're like the big ones because they're like priority with Apple because you need to, and it doesn't matter. We need to get Apple's approval. It's not just like a matter of getting the show there. So I said, you know what? I'll try it. The reason I say that is because it's cool. You'll see it works from episode 150. So you have the similar experience that you have on Spotify, for instance. Some would actually say it's even smoother. You can see it on video. And let's maybe say that first. You do not have to watch video. There's no reason. I do not watch video podcasts ever.
Same. Yep.
Ever. I mostly listen on commute or when I'm in the gym. So I do not. So really, and I promise you, there will never be a time where we're starting introducing stuff that you can only see in video and not being able to describe. I want to be clear. Do not have to watch on video. But for those who want, and I know there's quite a few because people are very happy there's video, you can, and Apple Podcast is by far the preferred channel of people tuning into this podcast. You can now watch video. The reason it's still, let's call it, it's still an experiment. I want to keep it, but I have no idea how much it will cost me.
Got it.
Because compared to YouTube or Spotify, which is basically free, Apple, I need to pay, not Apple, but I need to pay for the storage and the distribution. So I don't know. I'll see. And because it's an experiment, because it's very early, I'm of course using a provider. The pricing is very up in the air. So I hope I can continue. I'll probably do something I've been running for years I'll create a small membership program. Let's be clear. I'm never going to put this behind a paywall. I'm just saying I might do something where I can say, hey, pay something and to help the cost, and maybe you have a newsletter from Paul or something. I'll maybe package it. We'll see. Maybe I'll package it with something of mine. I don't know. It's no plan. There's no set plan about that. But I hope I can maintain it because it's really cool to be super early. I don't think I've seen any single other aviation podcast doing it. So I mean, it's just bragging rights at this point. But look, and also I'll finish with that and then move on. The cool thing about the protocol that Apple is using to do the video is called HLS, in that other apps can tap into. So I know that there's an app called Fountain, which is also a podcast listening app, also has video now. And I've heard that iHeart and Pocket Cast are also introducing it. So if you're into video and you like your smaller independent app or service instead of going to the big guys, this is the video will now be distributed outside of the YouTube, the Spotify, and the Apple. You can find it. So I don't know how, depending on all these services, will adopt this technology. If you really love video, you could actually watch our beautiful faces there. I don't know about my face. Look at Vinod, full of life as always.
Well, this could get interesting if we make it into an airport to record one day.
Yes,
We'll add a whole new dynamic to it. So
yes,
let's see.
Maybe it's never going to be forever, like something that we can sustain because we don't live in the same. But yes, it would be nice to do from time to time in a different setting.
Terminal 3, I don't know.
Yes, right. I'm ready to love a little bit more Frankfurt. That terminal looks really cool on the images. And I might have to change my stance on Frankfurt. Let's see. Let's see. A little bit of one comment from a listener, long-time listener, Michael Leppa. He said that he was on SAS, and for the first time on SAS, he had Starlink. Again, Starlink is coming a lot in these discussions these days. And it says that and you showed me actually, it was a thing, was it on Thread? Guys, I'm so sorry. There's too many of these things, and sometimes I forget where I got the message. Blue Sky, I think. He said that the image shows that when you log in, when you connect, basically, it says no voice calls, no video calls, and it asks you to use headphones. But it feels like not everybody's going to that direction. Have you ever have Starlink yet on a flight or not yet?
Starlink, no.
No. Have you ever had a flight where people were making calls?
Yes.
What's your stance?
Actually, no.
Your face
Trying to make calls, which is probably even worse.
On making calls in general, but you forget Starlink. Starlink. The reason I take Starlink is because it will make it so easy. It's making it so easy. Then airlines have to take a stance. What do we do?
Absolutely.
So
yeah, no.
What's your opinion?
In the seat, I mean, funnily enough, though, 20, 30 years ago, I remember when you would have the phone at the back of the seats with a credit card. I would use it once in a while just for fun to call a friend. I'm like, oh,
did you try it?
I have. And it worked.
I never tried. It worked. Yeah.
Or you could go to the galley and like a payphone and do the same thing.
I've seen them because we're same generation, but I've never tried them because I was always afraid that the cost would be so.
Oh, the cost was high. I would probably dropped $20 just for like a 30-second call, but it was just the nostalgia of it. It was fun. Yeah. But nowadays, a call can mean video, and it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
It's one thing if we all gripe and complain about people on the tube doing this and milling about and interfering, but you can step off, you can run away, you can shoot a person off. You can go to another section of the tube. Yeah. In an aircraft, you're
stuck.
You're siloed. You're done. So, yeah.
Yeah, because Mike also, when he wrote the message, was very happy to have seen this message because we had a discussion. I don't remember when it was. Was it? No, maybe it was the one with, it was with Matt when he said he had been in the Q suite. And he said, yeah, but it's allowed to do calls. And I remember from the last time I was in Qatar, and it's been a year now, and it was Starlink already. And I clearly remember, I'm not imagining it, that they said no calls. So clearly Qatar made a change and now is allowing calls. I've not seen the signs. So they're probably saying do not shout, or maybe not do not shout, but you know what I mean. BA is announced that they will allow calls, man. They're changing their rules. So they had a ban of in-flight calls, and they just removed it. And it's okay. You can do video calls and you can do audio calls. So the guidance, I don't know if it's a rule because I don't think it's a condition of carriage. The guidance is like, if you're making a call, keep your voice low and use headphones. And then they also added, please always use headphones when you listen to content on your device. And the usual, like, please do not access anything offensive or inappropriate. But so there you go. The breach has been opened. So BA will allow you to do phone. And it's very different. The story that Matt told us, which was he's in a Q suite making a call, is very different than if you're in economy
in the middle of the whole cabin.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes, you're right. If you have your door, there's a reason it's called a privacy door. Sure. But the part I'm thinking of as former crew is by stating those rules and putting it there, saying, please do not, it gives the crew something to stand against. Should a passenger want to kind of not follow the rule, they can at least say, well, you were told, you were advised, so now we're telling you in person. But if an airline is saying, please go ahead and make a call, that's just...
right? It's hard. It's hard. I think I don't have a set stance on it. I think you cannot stop technology and progress. I think people maybe want to make calls. Yeah. Then again, the stories you just said about people listening to content in various places with no regard whatsoever for the people around them makes me not very hopeful of what might happen in flights. Maybe Qatar actually said, you know what? They realized that it was unenforceable, to not allow calls because then, you were crew. Imagine if you have to police every single person. Once they have, this is why I say Starlink, because Starlink makes it so easy, like to make like a WhatsApp call, a FaceTime, whatever, a Skype that still doesn't exist anymore, a Teams call if you're crazy and you like your corporate world. So maybe it's just too much of a hassle for the crew if they have to police a thing.
Could be. Yeah.
I don't know. Interestingly, because as crew, that was also something. So what was your stance, or maybe not your stance, I'm not asking you for like a legal opinion, but what was your feeling as a crew about people, and we see that with influencers, although you were in a slightly different era, about people filming, meaning that they might include you in their footage. What was your...
If it was directly filming me, or my colleagues would say the same thing, it's not like we're going to charge up and put our hand against the camera, but we would dissuade them. If it was general footage of the flight, of the plane, of general experience, then it's almost the opposite. Happy to be part of it and want to show that we're performing or doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right. Filming outside, of course, it's fine.
Of course.
It's a different thing. But yeah, sometimes you get people filming you as you're doing the safety demo, when you're doing a manual safety demo, and in the middle of the demo, you can't be like, hang on a second, I got to do... It doesn't work that way. Right. Sometimes it's families just capturing the one trip they do a year. Okay. But you're right. Sometimes you get people that are filming for content and you're just not sure where it's going. So I think there was once where I went and just asked a question. I'm like, oh, what are you filming for? Da, da, da. And I was satisfied with the answer and moved on. It was okay. I'm like, well, okay. I hope I shaved that day.
No, the reason I'm asking is also linked to BA, but because with the enablement of Starlink, suddenly it's not only film, you can live stream stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's so good. The latency is good enough that you can live stream stuff. And so BA, in this instance, in their condition of carriages, has now explicitly banned passengers from taking pictures, filming, live streaming cabin crew without their consent. So you have to have the express consent of the cabin crew. And so meaning it's still fair game to, of course, take a picture or filming outside, the takeoff, like many of us do, or your food, but not to do... And I understand. Because what you just said, you're working, it's a place of work, but especially nowadays, where are you going to... I don't know. Yeah, so I think it's fair enough. And I think other airlines have already prohibited this, or like I always remember Iberia. Mm-hmm. As you know, I always have a camera with me. And I was on my seat and I was not taking a picture. I just had taken a picture of outside because I could see another aircraft. And I was in business class, I remember. And I had the camera in my hands and I see this staff flight attendant run to me and starts berating me. You're not supposed to take pictures of the aircraft. I'm like, I didn't take a picture of the aircraft. I just took a picture of them outdoors. And he was like, no, you're not supposed to. You need to put this camera away. I was like, calm down. I didn't say calm down because I would only have, worsen the situation. Say, yeah, whatever. And I put the camera down. But he was really irate. And apparently, I've asked friends, and they said, yeah, Beria is known to be quite harsh on this. And I get it. Maybe they're more privacy conscious. I don't know. I'm just saying that it's something that suddenly now with Starlink appearing everywhere, this ability to also live stream and do stuff, you could have stupid shit happening. Pardon my French, in aircraft, because people want to live stream a new TikTok trend or something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Yeah. As comparison, Aer Lingus also is allowing calls. So they are installing Starlink. They are installing Starlink, not installing Starlink. Installing Starlink. Whichever. Virgin said I'm only mentioning the airlines who have Starlink, will have Starlink. Virgin says they will only allow short calls, whatever that.
What defines a short call?
Exactly.
Do you call the flight attendant saying, "Time to make my call, set the timer"?
Exactly. Yeah. Now, go. And Air France. What did I read? Air France says discrete device use. Whatever that means, being discrete, does it mean that calls are allowed, or you have to be discreet when you make a call? Maybe the French, la France, maybe they have everybody has their mistress and affairs left and right, and as long as you're discreet, nobody says anything. So please call your mistress and your wife one after the other, as long as they don't cross call. No, I'm kidding, mes amis français. So I don't know. So there you go. That's all. Emirates. So Emirates. I don't know if you've seen. So it just announced that they will install Starlink on every 380. Sorry, all of them. Within like 3 months, they're like going all of them. Wow. There's 3 antennas per aircraft because there's so many passengers to ensure that everybody has bandwidth. 3 antennas per aircraft, man. It's like 3 gig whatever something in per.
Wow.
Yeah, and free for everyone, and free to do calls. So all the 380s will have them by the end of the year, and then what was the other one? Oh yeah, disappointing. Singapore Airlines says we'll have Starlink in 2029. I'm like, okay, you're not in a hurry compared to the others. And it's only going to be on 350 and 380, so basically only long haul. And it's only going to be free for first and business class, which, okay, fair enough. It seems a bit like disappointing compared to the others. No idea, because by 2029, I guess they will have to make a decision whether or not they allow calls. Yeah. So yeah, they're a bit disappointed.
That's a bit behind.
Last on this, which I didn't know, and I just stumbled upon it the other day. I didn't realize that installing. Okay, I'm going to make that installing Starlink. This is me as a French speaker. Installing Starlink on Dreamliners is trickier. I didn't realize that. It's because of the carbon fiber.
I was going to say because of the composite. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, getting certification is trickier, which is why many airlines are deferring. They're not going to do it, but they're waiting because it's trickier. So that's why we see a lot of news about 350s, especially getting that onboarded, and now 380s on Emirates. Anyway,
I guess it's because you can't just drill a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, this is how I thought about it, but I wasn't.
I can't put the wire.
There was a video. I'm pretty sure I've seen a video. Was it? Who was it? Maybe Qatar. There was a video, maybe it's available somewhere, maybe on Instagram, on their YouTube, where they are installing this. It's a square box that you put on the top of the aircraft. It feels like they literally are screwing it in. This is honestly. So yeah, maybe that if they do that with composite, the whole entire thing kind of breaks down. It's probably that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably that. Whoosh. Look. I have a few more things, but before that, I wanted you to have the microphone for a little bit, because I'm thirsty. I've talked for 2 hours, not 2 hours, but literally almost 2 hours nonstop. So please tell us about your latest Air Canada adventure.
Oh yes. But before I get to that, never been to Canada. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. The one thing about your Finnair story, I just brought back like childhood memories, is that white takeoff. I'm not talking about the aircraft, but the winter takeoff.
Yeah.
Where it's just snow on the ground. It's like bright daylight, and the whole cabin just lights up. And it's almost like you need sunglasses.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. You kind of feel so like, I've started the journey into the sun or something.
Yeah, I agree. It's wonderful. There's something really poetic about that. But do you get that in Vancouver at all? Not really.
Vancouver, no. But I grew up in the north of Canada, and so as a child, it was always like these snowbound takeoffs and landings, and it was that white thing. And I mean, the rest of Canada, Toronto gets snow, Alberta, this exists, and it's great. It's a neat effect. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. So last night I had dinner with a very good friend of mine. He's Italian, but is based in Dubai. And lots of interesting dialogue and stories all about living through the current period, pre-shutdown, false startups, the whole thing happening.
Yeah, it's I wanted to talk about it a bit later, but it's quite a story. I have lots of friends, as you can imagine. It's look, I think, and maybe I will ask you that. It feels like the things we hear are worse than it's actually happening on the ground. as in
That he pretty much said that word for word.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my friends who live there, some of them have lived for a long time, so you could say, oh, but they are attached to the place, and you always tend to defend the place that is your home, which fair enough. But some others are more transient, they're not really, attached especially to Dubai. They're like, well, it's, whatever. I mean, yes, whatever. Look, I'm not saying whatever. There's still being a few, more than a few. There's been like interceptors, and there's been explosions in the sky, and there's been like disruptions at the ports and the airports. I mean, there's been stuff. So that's not, there was actually one Emirates aircraft that was destroyed on the ground at a very, very early stage of the war. It's been shown later. Because it's also, let's be honest, a bit of all the countries are doing that, a bit of control of information.
Yes.
It's hard to know what's happening exactly. And that's from, every side, from Iran through UAE to the US, Israel. Everybody is kind of playing this game, which is the modern type of warfare. So nobody really knows. But it feels like, let's put it another way, and that's because I need to let you speak. I would go tomorrow.
Yep.
No doubt.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Like yourself, a lot of different business trips and some that, a client would pay for. I remember it was fascinating and it almost sounded quite fun. Not knowing which airline is actually going to operate its flight. So on the credit card, he had Qatar booked and Etihad and Emirates and something else like, $15,000 worth of flights, just kind of, well, which one? It's like, so which one did you pick? Obviously he went for Emirates and he was able to cancel the rest and all just the charges reversed.
Yeah, the airlines, the Middle Eastern airlines have been very generous with, obviously they don't want to lose you as a customer with cancellation, postponement, all this, like they did, like many airlines did at the start of COVID, you remember? Oh, you can move your flight by 6 months without penalties. That's a bit the idea here. I think they're doing the same.
Yeah. But one that he mentioned, which makes me really want to try it, and you mentioned this airline before, was ITA. Because I think he has the Dubai to Milan route.
Nice.
Yes. And it was more so about the food. Because, being an Italian, it's all verified as
of
true.
Course.
He's like, they do it. All the courses. The primi, the secondi, I'm like, oh man. And they don't hold back. And then the wine comes with it. I'm like, just for that, I want to fly on the Blue Ita.
Yeah, it looks. Look, I've only read reviews, right? I have not have a friend do it, and I'm like, I want to do this. I need to do this, which is really what I wanted to do. And again, I don't know what happened. And maybe they just interrupted the schedule for a little bit and then relaunched it. Maybe there was, because it was really not a case of there was no tickets available. I could not find a route anymore. Yeah. It's very disappointing.
Didn't exist. Yeah.
Very disappointing. But very happy with Finnair somewhat. But yes, I'll totally want to do that ITA thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, so new listener, Marco Villa. Hope you enjoy and can't wait to hear more stories. So, for me, not nothing too crazy, but the usual. Air Canada wide body domestic, as I do. So I think right after we last recorded, or maybe it was just before, I did my standard Vancouver Toronto run. This time was with the family. As it goes, nothing really to report out of Vancouver. It's seamless for the most part. Although they did make a change. I think in previous episodes I mentioned how our fast track system was on a separate floor, but it had the old machines and it was like this whole
I remember
dance.
Yep.
I didn't even pay attention to signage, so I traipse all of us up to that second floor and realize, oh, it is no longer there. We're like trips all come back down.
They've taken away my airport.
Yeah. And it's now integrated, they've fully completed the renovation of the sort of main security point with all the new machines. And we were through in not even a minute, man, woman, and child, just boom, right through. It was great. The boarding, it's an interesting thing that I think we're kind of keep on coming back to is airport infrastructure, how inconsistent it is. Even within good airports. Vancouver is a very good airport. I think it was voted one of the top in North America. in this year Skytrax thing. But there's certain gates that are older, or just the dynamics. We're there trying to board a Dreamliner. My son is 5 years old. We qualify for pre-boarding. I already had zone 3 based on the seats we had, but we'll take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And everyone's jammed in this line, and I don't remember this from childhood, but this whole thing of people lining up like as if you're about to board a bus. The boarding hasn't even started. Boarding has just started. Yeah, okay, you're on zone 5, 6. Everyone's just lining up, and just clogging the whole arterial hub there. Boarding is just very annoying. But anyway, we make our way through to get to the pre-boarding, and I think my son was in front, myself, and then my wife was behind, and we kind of got a little bit separated. But they had called us. Some other passenger calls out my wife that she's trying to like cut the line, because he probably saw the zone 3 or whatever. Yeah.
No, but you know what? Everybody has in a power trip. Like I'm the zone police. I'm the group police. Like group 2.5.
It doesn't matter.
I'm like,
she just shot back right away. It's like, I have a kid. Ignored it. And clearly you don't.
Oh God! Because when you just said you had to fight, you had to make your way through to actually enter the zone where you. Mm-hmm. The airlines put themselves into this corner, because by making it difficult or paying that you have to put your luggage on the hold, or losing your luggage altogether, people tend to want to have their luggage with them. Then, of course, they want to make sure that there's room, so they want to be first in the aircraft, even within their group. They don't want to wait. So nobody's actually sitting down. When say take a seat, this board, like nobody's sitting down. Everybody's front of there, like the one before.
Jonesing to get in. Yeah.
But then it creates that status game. By status, I don't mean the status at the airline, but as like, I'm better than you. Like, look, I'm group 2. You're only group 3. You're a worse human than I am. And then people, like you said, police. Like I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Just leave people be.
And it really comes down to the gate agent, whether they
enforce.
We talk about crew, and we've over the different episodes, the soft product, how it's delivered, but there's also this focus on the gate crew, the check-in, and then the gate operation, and how much are they enforcing, how much are they going to get out there. And in this particular flight, they weren't out there. They were just on the mic and standing at their podium. They weren't out in the fields doing anything.
So you don't have, I don't know why my camera doesn't focus. I need to change the camera. You don't have automatic gates.
Good question. At this specific gate, no. So, Vancouver's some gates are, it's sort of like a morph of everything. This particular gate, no, it was all manual, where you're going like around a pillar and then
because it can solve a little bit this conflict, the patent conflict between ground staff and people say, I'm more important. Because you say basically everyone does these automatic gates. When group 1 is group 1 or whatever, group 0 over BA. And if the gate says no, the gate says no. Like I think even American has just now, we discussed this, I think they have like a sound. They like a big, like a shameful sound if you're trying to enter the gate too early or something. And then the only exception is like kids and people, elderly and people with disabilities, I guess, because they can, but that's clear. Like there's a proper, but it's not like everybody. I mean, maybe not all gates can have that, it's expensive or whatever, but I think it solves a little bit that tension, because it's like, just go in front of this robot. Basically, the robot will say yes or no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Flight over to Toronto is as straightforward as can be. Good crew. There was something about the plane. What was it? No Wi-Fi on the plane at all.
How long is the flight?
It's
ish
just under 4, at around 4. Yeah, I mean, not that we were going to use it, but I usually like plug in just to have the texting, in case someone sends me a message or something. And I found it interesting. I mean, this plane was only, I got to look this thing up really quick. I think it was only 7 years old, maybe. It was it was not new, but it wasn't. It was just kind of mid-range. Here we go. Sorry, 2 years old. It was 2 years old.
That's brand new.
Yeah, that's really. But considering that, for Air Canada, the 7879 is international workhorse, and they didn't have Wi-Fi outfitted, and they've had it for 2 years. I'm like, interesting, funny. I mean, maybe it's just where the fleet sits in the maintenance range.
Have they announced about anything about Starlink Air Canada? No, I don't think
no. But we're going to get to what they have announced in a second. So, yeah, into Toronto, normal stuff, pretty standard. Arriving into Toronto is always easy. It's a very functional Toronto Pearson Terminal 1 functions for the arrival just fine. Not necessarily for the departure, but we do our trip. Everything's fine. Can I throw a car rental story in here?
Yeah, go ahead, quick. I mean, I have the worst car rental story for another episode because
okay, good. This is gonna be a good contrast.
Ready to kill people
good contrast.
in Spain, but you go ahead.
So, I book with a company called National. They have something called Emerald Club where you can just pick any car on the aisle. I'm into cars. I like that. In this particular trip, it was cheaper to book a premium SUV versus the aisle. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Okay, nice.
I'm like, it says Audi Q3, BMW X3. Oh, fantastic. Even better. I'm guaranteed to get something nice. Okay. So I go. It's actually like almost 10 p.m. It's a little bit later. So come out. It's like, oh, Emerald. I'm like, well, yes, I'm part of it, but I'm not taking from the aisle. I have a specific category booked. Okay, look at the thing. And then you can see the panic coming through the agent. This is like the lot staff. And she's looking around. And in my mind, I'm like, she doesn't have the car. She doesn't have that category here. What's she going to do?
Oh.
There's only one way to go. It's up. So she goes for a wander. She comes back. I'm like, what's happening? She's like, I don't have anything here. I'm going to try to see if we have something at the other terminal. I was like, we just arrived. It's late. I have a kid. Can we look at a different section? So I see this other section. So National and Alamo are joined at the hip in the back. So I see this Alamo section of all these vehicles, SUVs. She's like, is there something there that you like? And being a car guy, I see the one. We're talking about Scandinavian stuff. I see the Volvo, I think it's called the hammer, the Thor's hammer lights. I'm like, how about the Volvo? She's like, sure, no problem. And in the end, I ended up with a double upgrade.
Nice. That car, I used to have, not that one, sadly, because we're talking 15 years ago. I used to have the XC90. It's a great car. Right?
It was an
great
XC90.
Car.
That's exactly what we took.
That's the new version you have. It's a great car.
Great.
One of my favorite cars to drive ever.
Yeah. But it kind of joins the thread of how we talk about customer service. Like, you know what? You realize the customer, there's the situation, you can solve it fast at no consequence. Just let it happen, and everyone's happy.
Please talk to Six in Lanzarote in Spain. We're gonna be for another time. I think I was ready to kill people that day. It's not for today, guys. By the way, I should have said today. No, we'll say afterwards. Continue your story. Sorry. So you ended up having the Volvo then. That's great.
Yeah, we had the Volvo. We had a great trip.
No, that's amazing, man.
Fantastic. Yeah. So we come back and depart out of Toronto. Automated bag drop. That part's always fine. Departing gate security, easy peasy. So at Toronto Pearson Terminal 1, I mentioned this many times before, there's this hammerhead, and they jam all the wide bodies there, and you can hear the microphones over each other, and it's just on and on. And I'm checking Flighty like mad because I'm known on this route to never make it on time. It's always something every time. Showing on time. I'm like, okay. Aircraft had come in from, I think it was Frankfurt or something like this, or Munich, and they have to tow it across from the international terminal over to the domestic. Looking at the time, I'm like, okay, they have time to service it, bring it across. No, they bring it, and then they decide to service it only after it's been brought across, posted delay. So it's about a 50-minute delay.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny how I've worked in airport ops and airline ops. I'm like, you know this information, you know what, right?
Let me ask you a question here. It's not exactly, it's not relevant to your story, but relevant to what you just said. I mean, if an aircraft arrives, an international long haul will arrive, we'll have some spare time between, usually, it's not a fast turnaround, right? But let's even imagine worse or better. It arrives the night before. It stays overnight because some routes you have to. There's no way, right? When do they service the aircraft? Just before? Usually, because you maybe have like some experience with that. Or do they, let's say it arrives at 7 p.m. and he has to fly out at 7 a.m. Do they service at 9 p.m. or is that like out of union hours or some shit?
No. They'll service through the night.
Yeah,
at a good airport, they'll service through the night, absolutely, or whatever the staffing hours will go to, and they'll usually get it done in the earlier part. So let's say before midnight, so that the next day the plane is at least cleaned, serviced, and all you have to do is throw the food on and it's done.
Not at Heathrow, for some reason. No, but honestly, I've been flying at Heathrow. Maybe it's Heathrow, maybe it's BA. Finnair actually the same. The fact we were late, I was like. Remember, I told you the very early, the 321 I took to start with, it was a 7 a.m. thing. It was there from last night. There's no way they're not ready on time. Mm-hmm. How the hell are they not ready? You know what I mean? It's like, if you had just arrived 40 minutes before, or even like 2 hours before, I get it. Something had happened. But the night before, you're like, what? Why?
Yeah.
It has happened to me many times. Many times. Not a dig at Finnair. It's happened with BA, that with the others. She's like,
And I think this happens a lot at hub cities, home-based stations, where there's almost too much system that you think is going to catch things, and it starts to fall apart. And the reason I say that is, in my days of British Airways, as a station manager, remote outstation, shall we say, the plane would come in and, there would be cleaning staff on board while it's being towed, while the plane is moving. They're running around the plane, cleaning, vacuuming, doing pillow. I was on the plane doing headrest changeovers and all that stuff. So by the time it reaches, because we are so aiming for our KPIs and our OTP performance and all this stuff to perform as a solo outstation, because there was no one else around to help.
Yeah.
I think it's the opposite at the HQ.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. You kind of almost not overdo it. You like
trying to
you want to
overachieve,
impress.
Right?
Yeah, overachiever.
Yeah. And say, hey, look, we're doing well.
We're doing well. Like, whereas there's more like when you're HQ or whether you're like the home base, you're like, we're here anyway. Yeah. What are they going to do? Are they going to shut down the operations of BA at Heathrow? No. However, you just mentioned something. You said headrest. You're talking this little piece of...
Yes.
BA is removing them. Cost cutting. I'm not kidding, man. I don't know what next is
because like $500 of fuel is going to be saved by
I don't know. No, but maybe just the time, because I think it's more the time to rip and change them, and I'm like,
boy, really.
But they're gonna probably say it's a premium improvement for beloved passengers. And I'm not. Let's not even go. That will be for next episode maybe, because otherwise we'll go too long. Let's not even go of what they did with the whole status thing where they suddenly announced to some people and then, we're sorry you don't have it. I mean, come on, he's lost in the woods at this point. Anyway, so
we're at the Hammerhead. We're there, our gate, and again back to this people lining up thing. It's a clear shot window. You can see the gate. It's like a direct, and there's no aircraft there, and there's people lining up. It's like, do you not? What do you not? I can't watch this. I really can't watch this right now.
Look, not everybody's as smart as you. But to their defense, sometimes, if you're not a frequent flyer, because let's put it this way, because you use that route so much, some gates are very weird. You think there's no aircraft, but there's still an aircraft.
Yeah, that's true.
Or maybe you have to take some stairs and then take a bus and something. You still have to. And again, I think it's the same as before. People are just like, more anxious than before, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what was interesting is, our flight was supposed to leave at, I don't know the times here exactly, but so let's say our flight was supposed to leave at 7.
Mm-hmm.
And at 7:30, there was another flight to Vancouver, another wide body. And this is the one I mentioned before. It's the AC-33. It goes Toronto to Vancouver and on to Sydney, the 777-200 LR. Well, because of our delay, now that flight's leaving ahead of us. And they put that 2 gates away in this hammerhead. And in between, so it's our flight, the next immediate gate is some narrow body to somewhere else domestically in Canada. And then they have AC-33. All the boarding announcements and all you can hear is, because AC-33 is leaving on time, is boarding calls, flight to Vancouver. The passenger mash was bonkers, absolutely bonkers. People going to the wrong gate, to the wrong plane. And then you have this narrow body in the middle of it trying to also do its thing. I think to work at Toronto Pearson in the domestic hammerhead, you need to have like a body armor and a voice of like steel to like just cut through. Because there were some agents in there it was like a football match, like being a referee.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that plane went and we had to sit and we had to wait. And finally it goes. And yeah, it's just the usual gripe of how these airports are designed, poorly designed. And, gate placement, I get it. It's all about time and optimization, but sometimes maybe a bit more thought needs to go in as to what happens on the human side of it to get these planes out. So
you make me, I don't know why, the red zone is for immediately loading, and this is the airplane, the movie, and they're shouting at each other, microphone. But 2 gates next to each other, the same ID, basically, right?
Yeah.
The white zone. Yeah. No, sometimes I am known, although I became a better person. I am known to be particularly not difficult at airports, because I see these things and I'm like, why has no one thought about this? Why?
Same.
Because some of the stuff you're like, the airport were designed in the 70s, but there's no way you cannot fix bad design. I mean,
exactly.
You can, but sometimes there's a lot of inertia like this.
Yep.
Nobody thought about this or doing this the other way, and especially sometimes you can see maybe actually, you know what? Maybe the people that are in charge of these type of operations should visit other airports, because sometimes you grab an idea and like, see how they do this. This is not really difficult. You could do this here. And I'm sure that you and me have a better understanding of that. No, it's not true. I would not. That would be next generation, of course. But sometimes I see something in an airport, I'm like, why has nobody thought about this at my other airports I've traveled to? So, yeah.
Yeah. That flight back, again, great crew, no issues, straightforward, straight shot back over. And that was a 777?
Nice.
Yeah, just a standard 777 across. So those sets of flights were fine. But I do want to mention one recent flight that I took, completely something new.
Go ahead.
I had to go. So there's a city in British Columbia in Canada called Kelowna. It's in the Okanagan wine region. Wonderful place.
Nice.
I had to do a trip there. So it was just a one-way trip because I was coming back by road. And it was a bit of a last-minute booking. So there's generally it's going to be serviced by Air Canada or WestJet. It's going to be the standard pricing. So go online to book. And I was like, oh, what is this? This is a new option for half the price. So there's an airline in Canada called Air North.
Mm-hmm.
So Air North is based in the Yukon territory.
It's a very appropriate name to be
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, and typically they've just operated, Vancouver to Whitehorse and north, varying size of planes. They've started off with 737-200s, the classics. Well, they've newly acquired some 800s. And so now they are also doing this little small Vancouver to Kelowna flight. I mean, it's only a 50-minute flight. It's a short nothing. I was like, this is fascinating. I've never flown an Air North. Why not? Let's give it a... I mean, it's a 50-minute flight. Who cares? I'm not checking it back. I'm just going over the back page. Just go.
Go, do it.
So book it. And it's not, even like their website and the whole platform is all a little bit behind the times, but it works.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah, like there's no app. You go to do 24-hour check-in. It takes you to a website. You pick the seat once, and that's it. You're done. You're not going to change it anymore.
Better choose wisely.
Yes. So very quickly, I check if has anyone flown this thing. Found some other AvGeek reviewer, 4A. That's a great seat. Yeah, why not? So nice morning. Get dropped off. Express fast track. I'm through into the airside within a split second. The layout of Vancouver Airport is fairly distinct. WestJet has their own wing, Air Canada has their wing, but then the others have to fit in. The others fit in to it's called the B section. It's the old original section of Vancouver Airport that's been there, and it's like that old brown brick and the radiators and the lighting, and it's all there. So a few of the other airlines go to their Porter and Flair. Yeah. So you go and you just basically waiting. Aircraft arrives. Even like the sound from the speakers, I don't know if they've not updated it. It's just kind of like a bit of the crackle. It's great.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah. Straightforward boarding. But interesting part was as I was boarding, you kind of, we have those conversations, but you're still in motion and you hear it, and then just kind of Doppler effect, it just kind of goes away.
Yep.
Some passenger was trying to board and his ID did not match what it was booked at.
Oh.
So he booked it under his English name. He's a Chinese passenger.
Oh, I see.
But none of his ID had the English name. And the agent's like,
complicated.
It has to match. This is federal law. So I caught that whole convo and the panic, and like,
but sometimes I feel that a lot of the systems were made, first of all, in the 50s and haven't really changed a lot. They're really made for Western, names and characters. And I feel, let's do it in another episode. There's stories as well about in Europe similar. I think he's got, he should have had, I understand, but it's complicated.
It is. Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. Poor passenger, man.
So I board this aircraft. It's fully, it's economy only. It's a 737-800. It's all one color. I sit down. The legroom is incredible.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, I can't trying to touch the seat in front. I can barely do it. There's no IFE. But there's an in-flight magazine.
Yeah, nice. And nobody does that anymore.
No.
It was so cool.
It had recipes in it.
No.
All this
is the best airline in the world. This is perfect.
I actually took the magazine because I'm like, I can take
course.
this home. Yeah, it was great.
Well, now they might be bankrupt because their losses after that magazine. No, I'm kidding. I would love to try this. I would love to try that airline, man.
I was like, where did this aircraft come from? Let's see. So I quickly looked up on Airfleets. It was actually coming out of is it Vistara. That was Indian based.
Oh, Vistara, yeah, in the Indian Singapore airline.
Yeah, it was one of their former aircraft.
Yeah, and I think Vistara is gone. COVID killed it. Yeah,
that's it.
COVID killed it. Yeah.
So I think these are the old Vistara seats. Now I had the legroom. Seats were thin. I could feel the metal on my bum. It was there.
Yeah, but it's 50 minutes.
That's just it. I was like,
doesn't matter.
I'm happy. I got a great view.
Yeah.
They do the safety demo. You didn't see the crew again. No service, no water, nothing. You just sit there, look around.
It's cool.
Fly.
I don't. It's I like
for a 50-minute flight that was, zero expectations. It's fantastic.
Sorry. That's what you want. Yeah, I like it.
No one's bothering you. You just arrive and get off the plane. So
perfect.
Yeah.
I like that. I need to try Air North. Air North.
Air North.
What's the airport code of the airport you landed at?
YLW.
Y is always Y because it's Canada. YLW.
YLW.
Nice. That's a nice one.
And what's interesting about YLW, it's also a what do you call it? A mechanical servicing airport for a lot of 737 stuff.
Yep.
So, WestJet, Sunwing, CanJet, Air Canada. There's a whole. I think it's called Kelowna Flightcraft is the company.
Okay.
There's a series of hangars, and they must do. I don't know if it's heavy maintenance or light or whatever it's called.
MRO, yeah.
Yeah, but that's where. So when you land in, you always see interesting tails.
That's cool.
Parked there.
I like that.
Yeah, and then just
Nice.
straightforward. And I was wearing my Lufthansa shoes, and my seatmate caught onto it and said, as we were deplaning and walking, he's like, "Can I ask you a question?"
What?
Huh?
Which Lufthansa shoes? Which one do you have? You
No,
don't need to.
It's the Lufthansa
show them now.
Adidas Cross.
But the ones that you, because there's a few versions. The ones that you can still buy on their
On the World Shop.
the Wall Shop.
Yeah, it's got the navy back.
They
It's
look
got
really
the Lufthansa
cool.
logo right on the back.
Are they blue or you're blue? No,
It's a white shoe with navy highlight.
navy highlight. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted the navy with white highlights, but this was gone.
Yeah.
I have the employee shoe.
Ah.
Yeah, I'll show you once. Anyway, let's move on. So I didn't know you had them. So yeah, your seatmate saw the clock.
Well, he'd seen me wearing it because there's so much leg room. So he's behind me as we're walking up the jet bridge, and we kind of get parallel on the final. And he's like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" "Yes." "Where'd you get those shoes?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I bought them in Europe at Lufthansa." He's like, "Wow, those are very cool. I saw the Lufthansa logo right away." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, well, there you go. worldshop.com.eu."
.eu. Do they deliver in the US and Canada? I'm not sure.
No.
Maybe? No. Right.
No, that's why I had to order it when I was in Italy for a little bit there. So
Yeah, that shop is cool. They have a lot of Rimowa. They did the famous suitcases,
yeah.
They have this co-branding thing with them. Yeah, it's a pretty cool shop. You can use miles, of course, if you're on miles and
And they're
more.
also offering now, what do they call it? There's a special name. They're recycling old aircraft stuff and turning it into products. I mean, you pay, but it's just cool stuff. Like if I won the lottery, I'd be like on there, like ordering everything.
Oh, they do, because I always I keep changing my mind about it. I always wanted to have one of these, the carts, the ones you have in, and here you have a lot of companies that, you can buy the ones that have been discarded by airlines, not used anymore. And of course, there'll be a lot of heavily BA, because of course we're in the UK, so, and a few other airlines. And then you have these guys that refurbish these things,
Turn them into fancy things, right?
Yes, and on Lufthansa, on the World Shop, they sell those, turn those into bars, like mobile bar for your living room or something. They're super expensive, however. I find it like completely insane to pay like 3,000 euros for a thing that you could buy 60 and then refurbish yourself. But they look really cool. So if you're into these things, the World Shop.
You just have to come to my house one day.
You have those at home. Oh my God. See, I just wanted one for my office. This is here, my office, and I wanted one, and I keep saying, should I? No, yes, no, yeah. It will be more looking cool than practical of what I can actually put inside. That's why. But the World Shop is a cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
There's an actual physical workshop at Munich, and pretty sure at Frankfurt as well. Probably I've never found it at Frankfurt because I'm always lost. But the one in Munich is so well designed, and you can.
I've been to the Frankfurt one. It's quite nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a good idea. I think more airlines should be doing these kind of things.
Yeah.
Anything else about your
no? That was it. That's
to the north.
Yeah. No. That's all. That's all.
I'll finish with. Yeah, so let's go 2 minutes. It's not the funnest, but we're recording this on May the 13th, the Wednesday, 2026. I don't know. I always say that. I don't know it's going to be released, and I always say it's useless because by the time you listen to it, it will have been released anyway. But we are in this because we talked about Dubai. Your friend, Italian friend lives in Dubai, instead of travels to and back to Dubai. Lives in Dubai. And it's the entire region. We're in this weird space now because it's just kind of a ceasefire-ish. No one knows what's happening. I think Emirates, didn't they not say? I think maybe you had a discussion with your friend, actually, your Italian friend, Marco. You said he was his name,
yeah.
Right, Marco. I remember it was almost like surreal because Emirates did an announcement. We are reopening fully our airspace because you have this controlled path, to get into Dubai airport. And of course, not only Dubai, UAE, so Abu Dhabi, etc., Sharjah. And he said, Emirates says, we are going to open. And literally the same evening, the port of, I forgot the name. I'm going to F it up. So the port was bombed and it was a ceasefire already. So suddenly, so this, what I'm trying to say here is that this is weird zone. Nobody knows what's going on exactly. I think Emirates is at now 70% of operations compared to pre-war. Etihad about 60%. Qatar is only 45%. They're really lower, probably because they're more exposed. Yeah,
I just read that they were suspending like flights to 22 cities in the world or something.
Yeah. I mean, look, they know better than us. This is, they would like to fly. They're not doing that on purpose, and probably maybe I don't think personally that it is dangerous to fly in that region. I mean, an accident could always happen. When I say an accident, it's like some weird misfire or something. However, yeah, it must be not fun. So that's a weird thing. The weird thing is because of that, of course, the famous Strait of Hormuz is closed still. And the jet fuel is still coming up everywhere. So the reason I wanted to mention quickly is because I had a little bit of back and forth, nice, with some listeners. And most listeners actually email me about, but you said there will be no more fuel in April. And we're in May, there's still fuel. I'm like, yeah, well, of course. First, I'm not a forecaster. We are not forecasters. And we're not specialists either. It's true that the market dynamics simply, what happened is that as soon as this whole thing happened, especially the U.S. was a big producer of oil, the U.S. starting selling oil, especially in Europe. So the U.K. was the first country to actually say, what? No, we're going to buy from you before the others. And of course, that gave a little bit more. Now you read reports from Goldman Sachs and other very, fancy investment banks that there were no more jet fuel in Europe by July. So let's see. Of course, there will be a point where there's going to be a problem because it's not as if the Strait of Hormuz can be open tomorrow unless actually things change. And I think the most effed countries in Europe in terms of that is for Ireland, Portugal, and Cyprus. You're going to be the three. If these ones start not having any jet fuel, the others are behind. So that's what I read. I don't know. And I'm sorry to be laughing while I say this because I know this is not fun. The thing that actually matters to us is that the price has skyrocketed, we know, and now the price of our airfare is skyrocketed. Have you seen any difference in pricing within Canada in the flights that you're not yet, right?
Not yet. No. I've been checking because I probably have to book for something in the fall, and so far it appears the same.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I was at a luncheon, Vancouver Airport Authority luncheon, and the CEO was there, and great presentation. And the big first question is, Vancouver Airport going to run out of fuel? And she talked us through it, and it was very confident about what she was talking about, where she was coming. Long story short, no, they're not going to run out of fuel at the moment. Everything's fine. They're not even hitting the panic button just yet.
I think North America, you guys are.
Yeah. But like you said, at some point, there's always a break point. So where that is, hopefully we never get to that.
But I will say, yes, there's a break point. But at the same time, I think people, and I'm saying, how do I say that without being, I don't want to be, it's not condescending or dismissive. I'm just saying that it's never like a one moment is only everything crashes. Like people tend to think it's like a slow burn. And now we see the price in Europe, in Asia is more exposed. We see there's been more, I think, for this month alone. So May, we're recording this on May the 13th. Did I say that already? Yeah, I did. More than 2 million seats have been canceled this month in the world. That's about, I don't know, probably 15,000 flights. That's not, in the grand scheme of things, is nothing. It seems a big number. It's nothing, but it's still, Lufthansa cut 20,000 flights from their schedule through October to save fuel. Emirates, of course, Emirates has also this situation, but let's say United, American, BA, Air China, I'm forgetting some, KLM, they've all reduced. Again, we're talking here not like massive amounts of flights, and the less profitable ones, the ones where there's like not enough people or the forecast,
or just reduce the frequency a little bit. Yeah,
exactly. So we're not talking here about doom in the end of the world, but that's what I'm saying. It's a slow burn. I mean, Lufthansa also closed. This we're talking about Lufthansa, about CityLine. They were supposed to close it next year anyway. It was planned, right? They had a lot of CRJ 900s. They did fly a few times. Nice, cute airline. But they closed it like once because it was we need to save money, and they did not announce it. They're gonna they're gonna get rid of the 340 600s,
Yep.
and they're gonna ground the 747
400s. Oh, sad day.
Right? They would have anyway.
It was coming anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, 2028. The 74 was supposed to be at the end of
So
flight.
just moved it up a year. Yeah.
Yeah, more. We're 2026, man. We're not in 2027 yet. Air Asia, since let's look at Asia, 10% network-wide flight reduction. Thai Air Asia they removed 1/3 of the schedule. It's a lot, actually. Vietnam Airlines, pardon me, is rationing fuel right now. So look, even you, Air Canada, did not Air Canada pause some flights from Montreal to New York City, to JFK?
Yep.
And Toronto to JFK as well. Of course, these flights were maybe not the most necessary because they had extra fat, extra capacity, but these are also telltales that it's not great, right? Even Turkish, I thought that Turkish, and I should have said that because I don't think I've said it, and I think you would agree with me. And it's sad because it's a bit like, world eats well. The three Middle Eastern companies are a bit blocked. Turkish is like, oh, hello, world, we can actually get you anywhere. I mean, they're the best place to take a win, if you want, with that situation. They also have announced like some cuts in their schedules, right? Because, JAL, Japan Airlines, doubled the fuel surcharge. Korean not only doubled the fuel surcharge, but said, we're entering into, what would they call it? Crisis management mode to implement fleet-wide cost cutting. Busan Air did the same. What's his name? The United, what's his name? The United CEO of United.
Kirby.
He said, I think it was 3 weeks ago, that he thought he thought that the price of airfare should rise by 20%. At least, maybe at least is not. I think he said 20%. And in his view, the barrel, which is, I don't know, I've not checked what it is today, but a barrel, he was planning United for a barrel at 175 and a barrel that will never go under 100 until at least for the next 2 years, until 2028, I think he said. Something like that, right? So, and by the way, if you look at the inflation numbers in the US that were released just yesterday, they have a line there that says airfare inflation. Airfare inflation, more than 20%.
Wow.
So it's happening. There's something. So, and that's a bit shit. Pardon me, my French. I'm really unhappy that we will have to pay more airfare to actually do the stuff we like. So and it's weird because we don't know what's going on. And then, have you ever flown Spirit?
No.
You say that with a lot of applause. No.
Never
no,
needed
sir,
to.
not
but
me.
Yeah. I don't think it would ever come up on my high list of options.
Look, it's sad because I think, 17,000 people lost their job? And it's just crazy.
And it's been around for a long time. I didn't realize it'd been around for 30 years.
30 years, right?
That's crazy.
Are they the Ryanair of the US?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. And they were, yes, we know they had, because people say, it's not jet fuel. It's not only jet fuel, because clearly they had issues before. They were already supposed to merge with JetBlue, which was blocked by the government. And then there probably was a rescue deal that never happened. Well, okay. But then the jet fuel kind of put on the edge, and that was it. It's not even a Chapter 11.
It's the finest capitals,
We just closed the airline. I thought the beginning was with Chapter 11. Oh, God, we just closed the airline. That's it, gone, blah, blah. It's sad. So yeah, it's and if we're thinking about Alex here, Alex's favorite drink is Diet Coke. I think there's no more Diet Coke in India or something because apparently they don't have aluminum to create the cans because of the Strait of Hormuz. In Japan, Calbee, which is a potato chip maker, very well known. The packaging will be becoming black and white instead of color because naphtha, which comes also through a refinery of oil. There's not enough naphtha to put, which is used in the ink that goes into ink jets to create the color for the packaging. So they have to remove it looks really cool in black and white. It makes it a bit like of a manga style. But what? So, let's maybe not, but I hope that something happens in a positive way, because no matter what your political leanings are, it sucks when stuff like that happens, because it hinders our way to travel and discover the world. And I just hope, and not mentioning the food is becoming, everything is becoming more expensive with another round of inflation coming, and it's not nice. So I hope, and I hope that we don't see another airline falling, because I think there's a few that are not.
They're on the risk, right? Yeah.
And in Europe, it started with W. In the US, it started with a J. And there's a few more others behind, I think. Bigger ones, like it's not to be... the ones I mentioned were more like low cost but there are bigger ones that could actually be... We're talking big bailout type. So I really hope, it's simply for the sake of all the people that work there.
Yeah. People their livelihoods, people want to enjoy the world still. That can't end. Yeah.
Well, I think I will stop here because it's already 2.5 hours. I had a lot of other stuff to say because there's always news in the world of aviation, but we will save it for... Maybe I'll talk about Lanzarote. I don't know what we'll talk about in the next episode. We'll see. It's going to be in a few weeks or more. I don't know.
Sometime.
Yeah, so that's our goal. Yeah, that's just give you the teaser. We're thinking to do a episode centered on Brazil, because you've been more recently than I have. However, I was always been a bit frustrated not to have been ever able to do a proper description of my flights there, even if they've been a long time, because there's a lot to say about Brazil in a good way, by the way, but it's a bit of, it's different. Yeah. So we'll probably do it before the summer or somewhere. It's less time sensitive, but that's a promise we'll do. Anyway, I'll run the end music. Is it? Just want to tell you both good luck. No, that's not the one. This is the one. So, do you have another Air Canada to do?
I do. In 2.5 weeks from now, we're doing another
2.5 weeks from now. Nice.
Yeah. This time it's narrow body and then wide body. So let's see what happens. Yeah.
Narrow body. What is it?
321.
320. Yeah, like everywhere.
Yeah.
These aircrafts are taking over all the...
But they have these are the older ones that they refurbish. So we'll talk about that. See. Yeah.
Me, what is it? I haven't flown since last time, man. Did I? Anyway, I think I know I have Zurich. Is that the next one? Or is it Geneva? Or is it Athens? I don't know. It's horrible to say, but these smaller flights for me are...
It's a bit of a blur.
Whatever. I book them and then whenever, and I move on. It's not, the same kind of, I'm looking forward to fly to Japan or something. So anyway... I will. Let's talk more next time. Hello to all our friends in Dubai, and for you, all you guys, happy flying.
All right, take care, guys.
Wonderful.